you got when you saw that?
Yeah, basically it's just to tell you that I am ready to travel home.
You're ready.
Now,
Yes.
you see that feeling, Regina? That's how kids feel when it comes to holidays.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm still my father's daughter.
You're someone's child.
Yeah.
Yes.
We get it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I have no apologies to make.
No, not really. We don't
I
have
am
to.
still my father's daughter,
Yes.
Yes, you are.
and his doors will forever remain open to me. So I can't wait to get home. It is
Regina,
as simple as
happy
that.
birthday to Jesus Christ in advance.
Yes,
You are so ready for it.
I am.
You're so ready for it. We are also ready, by the way,
Yeah.
In your hearts, eh?
in our hearts.
All right.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Kenyans. Karibu sana to the show. That's how we started, because it's holiday, and yes, the Christmas season is all here for us once again, and we are very grateful that you are up and early once again with us on Good Morning Kenya. My name is Victor Olo. Please stay with us until the end of the show. Of course, there is so much we want to talk about. Today being a Wednesday, let's talk about the viewpoint, and on the viewpoint I want to talk about the year that was 2025. What are some of the stories that made headlines? And of course, my guest will also be here just to crack that nut very well. Tukimaliza hii maneno, then we say adios. My guest, Honorable Francis Mwangangi, who has been with me on the show all year through, Deputy Governor of Machakos County. Dr. Ambassador Richard Bosiru is a lecturer at the University of Nairobi. He teaches political science. Wafula Mutacho for the Kenya chairperson, Trans Nzoia County, and Daniel Juma Omondi, who is the Africa Regional Representative of the Global Peace Foundation. Let's talk about that and much more when we start the show at 7, right? Vivian?
That's it. So today is the 17th day of December, just a few days to Christmas. And yes, we are ushering you into that festive season for sure. Now, today being a Wednesday, it is Women at the Forefront. And on this particular day, we usually bring to you women who are doing amazing things, women who are doing exemplary well in the different fields that they are in, and women who are also, or rather who have also taken it upon themselves to ensure that they are pushing the envelope when it comes to enriching the next woman, the younger woman behind, following their trail. And today's woman at the forefront will be none other than Evelyn Mwakina, who's the corporate manager, KBC Channel 1. She will be here to talk about leadership, to talk about mentorship, and to also speak about purpose. Our topic of conversation is shattering the glass ceiling. And I have a copy of her book here. It's her memoir. It's called Breaking the Barriers. So we will be getting into this later on in the program at 9 a.m. Mike?
Yeah, indeed. That is a very interesting conversation. And within the spirit of Christmas, the National Commission on Administration of Justice has come up with a raft of measures, and one of which is introduction of mobile courts to ensure that there is adherence to traffic rules. So they will be established along major corridors within the country to ensure that those who contravene traffic rules are tried and get instant justice. That is a conversation that I will be having with Dr. Frederick Ochieng, who is the traffic commandant, Honorable Paul Ndemo, who is the Deputy Chief Registrar and Judiciary spokesperson, and also Ms. Dorcas Rugut, who is Assistant Director and Head of Nairobi Region Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. They will be joining me here on Good Morning Kenya to talk about that matter. Now, before I hand you over to Ray, let me give you a quote for today. Still captures the spirit of Christmas. And this is a quote by Pope John the 23rd. Mankind is a great, immense family. This is proved by what we feel in our hearts at Christmas. Mankind is a great family, is a great, immense family. This is proved by what we feel in our hearts at Christmas. That is a quote by Pope John the 23rd. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning. Glad to have you on board. I know, I'm in the Christmas mood, but hey, work has to be done, right?
Yes.
So let's keep you up to speed, or rather bring you up to speed with those stories that have been making headlines in the last 12 hours, and that now the Directorate of Criminal Investigation says the CCTV footage has captured the final seconds before former Minister Cyrus Njirongo died in a head-on collision along the Nakuru-Nairobi highway, placing the impact at 25 seconds past 2 o'clock in the morning. In a statement, the Directorate of Criminal Investigation now confirms the crash involved a public service bus whose driver has been questioned and released on cash bail, as a homicide detectives and forensic experts pieced together a detailed trail of his movements, including where he had been earlier that night, ahead of forwarding a file to the Director of Public Prosecutions. Ben Chumba has the details.
The Directorate of Criminal Investigations has confirmed it is probing the circumstances surrounding the death of Cyrus Njirongo, who succumbed to injuries sustained in a road traffic accident on the night of December 13th at Karai along the Nakuru-Nairobi highway. Preliminary findings indicate the crash involved Njirongo's private vehicle and a public service bus belonging to Climax Company Limited, in what investigators describe as a head-on collision shortly after 2 o'clock in the morning. According to detectives, the impact was severe, pushing Njirongo's vehicle nearly 25 meters from the point of collision, while the bus came to a stop about 50 meters away. Police say CCTV footage recovered from a nearby petrol station has provided a timeline of Njirongo's final movements before the crash, footage that is now undergoing further forensic analysis. The driver of the public service vehicle has been questioned and released on cash bail, as investigations into the offense of causing death by dangerous driving continue. Detectives have also recorded statements from witnesses, including petrol station staff and passengers who were aboard the bus. Homicide detectives and forensic experts are now expanding the probe, piecing together a detailed trail of his movements, including where he had been earlier that night, statements from individuals he interacted with before the crash to establish events leading up to the crash. Once complete, police say a comprehensive file will be forwarded to the Director of Public Prosecutions for further action.
That continues to develop, and we'll continue keeping tabs on that particular matter. Now, leaders allied to the United Opposition is calling for a thorough investigation into the former cabinet minister Cyrus Njirongo's death. Speaking during a condolence visit to the Njirongo family at the Nairobi residence, the leaders led by former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, and DAPK leader Eugene Wamalwa said the information currently available to the public is insufficient, calling on those who were with Njirongo during his final moments to come forward and share their side of the story.
So Kenyans are asking, who are the last people to be seen with Cyrus Njirongo? Why are they quiet? Mostly they were his kinsmen, people he trusted, people he knew. Why are they quiet?
Wakenya wanataka kujua ukweli. Je, hii ilikuwa ni ajali ya kawaida ama ni ajali ambayo imebuniwa na watu fulani?
What is even more shocking, it's emerging that there are various versions of how he met his death. And even as we say pole to Njirongo's family, this is a matter of serious concern to the family, to the community, to his friends and relatives, and to the country as a whole.
As we mentioned earlier, that's a developing story that we're keeping tabs on. Now, the Kenya Police Service is on high alert to ensure the security of Kenyans during and after the festive season is guaranteed. According to Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja, the government will employ relevant measures, including the deployment of more officers and the introduction of an instant fine system via mobile courts to traffic offenders in a bid to reduce the increasing cases of road accidents. A police boss spoke in Nyeri as he opened the 9-month training program for the National Police Service recruits at the National Police College main campus.
Police College main campus in Kiganjo, Nyeri County on Tuesday. played host to the police boss who officially opened the 9-month training program for the National Police Service recruits. The IG announcing the recalling of officers who are on leave to ensure security of Kenyans during the festivities is not left to chance.
Police officers have also been deployed together with other agencies. We are working together with others. This will continue to act as a deterrent, because at the end of the day, when the festive season is gone, we want to ensure that our people are safe and secure.
In addition to the personnel, Kanja disclosed the National Police Service is in the process of acquiring more modern equipment, including an additional 3,000 motor vehicles to boost mobility. On curbing the rising number of road accidents in the country, the police boss vowed to impose a crackdown on rogue drivers.
We don't want to lose Kenyans, especially on our roads. And at this juncture, I would like to advise our drivers, all those who are driving along, on our roads, to drive carefully, so that they can be able to take care of the others, they can be able to take care of the pedestrians, those riding motorcycles and the pedestrians.
Among the measures to be taken against traffic offenders will be imposing instant fines, which shall be administered through a multi-agency team that will include the judiciary and the National Transport and Safety Authority.
This time around, we're also going to have the instant fine system. We are going to have courts actually distributed in several areas along the major arteries of roads in the Republic of Kenya, so that we can actually be able to deal with all those, who are going against the regulations, traffic regulations.
Now that sets the tone for our conversation after this particular news headlines here with victors, engages, stakeholders who are involved in ensuring that the festive season, we do not record fatalities as we have recently witnessed in the last few weeks there. So you can be part of this conversation. Get us on X at KBC Channel 1. Now, a call for countries in Africa to strengthen electoral integrity and civic participation resonated during the National Symposium on Human Rights and the Ballots in Africa held in Nairobi. Stakeholders in the forum underscored the need for countries in Africa, especially those gearing up for the upcoming elections, to deal with shrinking civic space, digital repression, weak institutions, as well as post-election instability. The stakeholders further called on those in power to exercise caution by not using government machinery to destabilize the electoral process. The forum that brought different countries in Africa together was held under the theme of securing human rights before the ballots.
We have tried to do a little panel beating, but it will appear that even in their panel beaten condition, they are not functioning as well. And if you ever doubted me, see how we conducted ourselves in the year 2007, how we conducted ourselves in the year 2013, 2017, and even after 2022 in Kenya. After every election cycle, we go to the Supreme Court, we go to the streets, and we end up with one form of government or the other. If it is not the handshake, it is broad-based government. It tells you we are struggling. And we are struggling because, particularly in Kenya, the political class are obsessed with mobilization on the basis of tribe. So it is not issues.
You swear an individual oath as IG police, as commissioners of the IEBC. We expect you to do what is right in accordance to the Constitution and in accordance to your oath. Article 1, 2, as read with Article 3, obligate these officers to individually defend and affirm the Constitution. So you are not going to give us the excuse that I was instructed to do ABCD contrary to the Constitution. You must stand firm. You must do what your oath of office, what the law requires you to do. That is what we expect from the IG and the election managers.
Elections is not an event, it's a process. And how all stakeholders engage in the process is important to the final outcome of the election. For example, you're looking at things like how is the human rights situation before elections during elections and after elections, learning from Tanzania, from what's going on in Uganda, the bloody campaigns. How is Kenya prepared to ensure that those things do not happen? Because look here, this region has been celebrated as one of those that has a blueprint of, democratic elections, peaceful campaigns. But now, what's happening in Tanzania, we're sliding back.
Kenya, we have better laws to deal with perpetrators of election violence. However, they are not implemented and they are not followed. And this also, it's a test to judiciary on now they have been able to even to deal with the current issue that we have seen with the by-elections, even in Kasipul and other area.
Former National Assembly Budget and Appropriations Committee Chairman Ndindi Nyoro is querying the sustainability of Kenya's rising public debt, stating that the country has borrowed nearly 4 trillion shillings in new debt since August 2022. Nyoro further poked holes into the government's plan to launch a 5 trillion shillings fund, calling for accountability of previously borrowed funds. According to Nyoro, Kenya's public debt is already approaching 13 trillion, and creating new financing structures outside the traditional debt framework could place an additional burden on future generations.
Nchi ya Kenya tukikosa kubadilisha mwenendo, hatuendi vizuri kwa mambo ya madeni. Kwa sababu jana tuna launch project ya 5 trillion. Pesa tumekopa from 2022 August. Pesa nchi ya Kenya imekopa from 2022 August to now is almost 4 trillion Kenya shillings. Na hiyo sijahesabu ile pesa tumekopa ya kulipa madeni ya kitambo. That is what is called only net debt. Vile unakopa pesa sako ulipe ya Shylock, sijahesabu hiyo.
Still related on matters economy is that the National Cabinet Secretary John Badi says Kenyans will begin to feel the impact of sustained and broad-based growth once the economy expands by more than 7% annually. Speaking during the launch of the Kenya Economic Report of 2025 and the Kenya Fiscal Incident Analysis, Mbadi said accelerating growth in key sectors, particularly manufacturing and construction, would enable the country to create jobs and increase income for citizens.
Manufacturing and construction sectors contributed about 1.15 trillion shillings to the gross domestic product in 2024. Over the next 3 years, the construction sector is projected to push Kenya's GDP growth to over 5%. However, the National Treasury now says these numbers need to be higher if Kenyans are to feel the effects of economic growth.
We need an economic growth of not less than 7%. 7% and above, that is the target. That is when now people will feel that we have an economy that is growing. Otherwise, you will still continue to hear of where is the money. We don't feel the money in our pocket.
Mbadi says the development of county aggregation and industrial parks are among investments that will catalyze economic growth.
To revitalize manufacturing, the government will accelerate development of county aggregated and industrial parks, promote MSMEs, and provide investment incentives and critical services, including infrastructure.
Mbadi says another disconnect to Kenya's economic growth is the teething disparities between counties and the national government.
We have been operating like we are running 48 countries. Yet we know very well we have one country with devolved units. So there has been limited integration between the plans at the county level and the plans at the national level, and we are trying to cure that.
The Kenya Institute for Public Policy Research and Analysis Kenya Economic Report indicates that job creation is on the rise, with the agricultural sector being the main employer. However, the report also shows the need for matching skills with decent job opportunities.
As highlighted in the report and operated by the ED of Kipra and ED KNPS, job creation has largely occurred in the informal sector, underscoring the need for deliberate policy interventions to improve job quality, productivity, and income security.
Now to the sporting arena, the continent's best footballers are preparing to descend to Morocco for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON as the finals are held over Christmas and New Year for the first time. The tournament kicks off on Sunday, the 21st of December, when the hosts take on Comoros at Rabat's Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium.
The pressure is on the Atlas Lions, who are Africa's highest-ranked nation at 11th in the world, but have not won AFCON since 1976. Morocco will begin their quest against Comoros, a side that's making their third appearance in the competition. Morocco coach Walid Regragui named a powerful 28-man squad featuring the country's biggest stars, led by Ashraf Hakimi, Yassine Bono, Sofiane Amrabat, and striker Youssef El Nesri. Despite suffering a serious ankle injury recently, Hakimi has been included in the squad, but is likely to miss the opening matches. Hosting the tournament has heightened expectations, and only one outcome will satisfy the public: lifting the trophy in Rabat on January 18th. After the Comoros opener, Morocco will face Zambia and Mali in Group A. Morocco leads a line of nations carrying a favourite star into the competition, alongside Democratic Republic of Congo, holders Ivory Coast, former champions Senegal, Algeria and Egypt. East African countries of Tanzania and Uganda, pooled together in Group C, face a daunting task of getting past four-time winners Nigeria and 2004 champions Tunisia. Uganda reached the finals in 1978, while Tanzania has never gone past the group phase in its past three appearances. Tanzania will open their campaign against Nigeria on December 31st, while Uganda will face Tunisia. 9 stadiums will be used in 6 host cities, with 4 venues in the capital, Rabat. Prince Moulay Abdallah Stadium in Rabat, with a capacity of 69,000, set to host the opening match as well as the final on 18th January. The matches will also be hosted in Agadir, Marrakesh, Casablanca and Tangier.
Now, as we bring this conversation to a close, just to invite you to peruse our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke. It's just that tough times for workers, as take-home pay is expected to drop heavily, as NSSF contributions are expected to rise from 4,320 to 6,480, commencing February 2026 for those who are earning above 100,000 shillings. That puts a cap on matters in the headlines. I'm Regina Manyara. I hand you over to Victor Law for the day's conversation that you are welcome to participate. Our X handle at KBC Channel 1. Happy holidays.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we
have to do it twice.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Yesu amezaliwa, Yesu amezaliwa.
The holiday season is here again. It's family time.
Tunaanguka nayo.
Oh yes, it's a season to be jolly. And so, grab a seat, relax as your favorite Christmas hosts line up to indulge you this year.
It's about to go down.
There's a lot of food and drinks to go around.
It's delicious.
Great music for the soul. It's unbeatable. It's joyous. It's Christmas on KBC Channel 1.
Before Christmas, you want to go home.
Siwende. Nenda?
Hapana na pesa.
Pesa ngapi? Pesa gani?
10 kilo rice. 10 kilo rice.
Rice 10 kilo za nini?
And 5 kilogram.
Rice wapi?
5 kilogram sugar cane.
Wataka sikukuu yani. Wenyewe wamesema sikukuu twende tukale nyumbani.
Sitomaliza hii ya Christmas. Ya mwaka mpya yaje. Kama nikusenda sherehe, wewe utakuwa na kama
sasa mimi nishakuwa mtoto wako kunidanganya. Christmas nyumbani.
Hapana, sikukuu mama ni sikukuu kwa kila mtu.
Christmas ni Christmas, Eid ni Eid na wote ni wote wanakuwa ruhusa.
Kama ni Eid watu wote kwa ruhusa mama.
Right. Good morning. Welcome back to the program. My name is Victor Law. It's now 5 minutes past 7 a.m. The Christmas mood is all over. That is, again, we have to say that. Okay, karibu sana. Let's do this. Being a Wednesday, it's a viewpoint. And I want us to take a look at some of the stories that really made news throughout the year. The year has been a quick one. It moves so fast, but also we had some of the stories that made headlines. And my guest will help me to unpack them as we also look ahead to the year 2026. But before then, allow me to introduce my guests already. I have Daktari Ambassador Richard Busire. Today I got it right, Daktari.
Almost.
Okay. Daktari Ambassador Richard Busire. He is a lecturer of political science at the University of Nairobi. Did I get it right?
Correct.
Whew. Okay. Out of 10, mark me.
About 72%.
72, that's not bad.
That's 7.2.
7.2. That's not bad.
It's an A still.
Yeah. Asante sana. Karibu sana to the program.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Yeah. And Omwami Wafula Mutacho is the Ford Kenya chairperson, Trans Nzoia County. Omwami, good to see you once again.
Thank you.
Karibu, karibu.
Asante.
And Daniel Juma Omondi is the Africa Regional Representative of the Global Peace Foundation, the Peace Ambassador in Africa. Daniel, good morning.
Good morning, and nice to be here again.
Asante sana. Gentlemen, let's start where we should, and let me take you through the front page of the local dailies. On the front page of the Daily Nation, queries over Ruto's 5 trillion shillings funds. That is also on the front page of the Daily Nation. Queries over Ruto's 5 trillion funds. That is... It's about now a matter of concern where pressed in a tight corner by Kenyans who have rejected tax increases and with limited room to borrow. President Ruto has now resorted to using public money to attract private sector investments in public projects, promising to make Kenya a first world country in 30 years. But a day after the cabinet approved establishment of 2 kitties for the 5 trillion plan, questions have emerged on the formation, utilization, management, and accountability of the funds. It's about utilization, management, accountability, and formation of the funds. That is what's here on the front page of the Daily Nation. And now the president has portrayed the kitty as a springboard to Kenya's rise to the first world. Again, story here. DCI now probes Jirongo death in horror crash. They have taken up the matter and they're now piecing up some of the loose ends to come to the tail end of his ultimate demise on that fateful day on December 13th. 20 governors spent zero on development projects. That is according to the audit report. 20 county governors actually spent 0 shillings on development in the year 2025. All right. On the front page of the Star, Ruto walks into split ODM in first post-Raila tour. Ruto walks into split ODM in first post-Raila tour. Nyanza backyard embroiled in fierce debate as president visits Migori today. That is, what has that is going to be? Going to the Luo, the Pinyudo Festival that is happening in Migori County. And of course, it's a week of road carnage that left Kenyans and dozens dead over the week. So that's what's here on the front page of the Star newspaper. Finally, why Ruto's Mount Kenya East allies are pushing for regional splits. Why Ruto's Mount Kenya East allies are pushing for regional split. Again, a story that you can take a look at. And finally, on the front page of the Standard, what I have here is questionable funds, more or less the same as what's on the front page of the Daily Nation. Questionable fund. All right, it's all about the infrastructure fund. And as President William Ruto's hyped bottom-up economic transformation model falters with nothing much to show for the last 3 years, the administration seems to have abandoned quote-unquote Mama Mboga and is now going for mega infrastructure projects through the so-called Singapore Dream. But despite Ruto selling his new pet strategy as Kenya's way into the first world, financial experts have now questioned the creation of a national infrastructure fund and fear that it is just another attempt to illegally transfer public assets into private hands. Okay, that's what I have here on the front page of the Standard. Gentlemen, let me start with the 2 newspapers. That's the Standard and the Daily Nation. Daniel, good morning. The 2 newspapers speaking almost the same thing, and I think it's been one of the biggest news this week for the past 1 week or so. It's about the infrastructure fund. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think everyone is talking about the infrastructure fund.
Yes.
And for good reasons. It is a lot of money, number one. And again, of course, now the president has thrown all his weight behind this.
Yes.
You know, the president has a way of selling, and he passionately sells what he believes in. I remember when he was selling the affordable housing, you could not say anything else about it. But this fund, you know, even though it's questionable, personally, I think that the areas that needs to be addressed are the areas of, for example, corruption. You know, we have had so much money, and you see, when you see, you know, the other day, the MP Nyoro, he raised the issue about the 4 billion, the 4 trillion shilling that has been borrowed. And of course, Nyoro was in government during those days. He was one of the MPs in charge of finance in Parliament. But he raised that issue yesterday, and he said that you know, we need to know what happened to that money, which is a very good, of course, question that needs to be addressed. So I believe that the president, as much as he's selling this new fund, he needs to communicate with clarity regarding, you know, the loans, you know, the wastage. I remember during the campaign, Musalia Mudavadi was one of the people who was saying that we need to, you know, Kenya spends a lot of money, you know, out of the taxes we collect, for example, almost 60% goes to paying debts. And he promised that if they go to government, they would address that. But that has not been addressed. So first, even as much as we are creating this fund, we need to address the issue of debts. You know, we need to address the issue of corruption, the wastage through corruption, you know, and before we can talk about another fund, it's okay, we can do that, as we also address these issues, so that the Kenyan people, those who have lost public trust in the administration, can regain that trust. So I think the president has a duty here, not just the president, but also his administration. The people who work in his government have a duty to communicate with clarity, to try and earn the public trust, regarding, of course, the issue of corruption that I've mentioned and the other issues.
The issue of, trust deficit is a big problem. When you talk about that, Omwami, when, based on that, Wanjiku is waiting for services to be delivered, but then again, the trust deficit that we have, based on the promises and based on some of the unfulfilled promises, either in all the levels, not the executive, in all levels. And you see, the president is as good as his foot soldiers who are helping him to steer his manifesto and the development projects, but Wanjiku is becoming a bit hesitant when it comes to some of these promises.
Yeah, Victor, last time I was here, I told you that, I'm also a politician. Sometimes when we campaign, during that time of campaigning, we promise heaven.
And that is wrong. Why do you do
now
that?
The challenge
just
comes
made that
in.
confession.
The challenge comes in on how to deliver those heavens. And the second thing, Victor, is a competition. When you look for the previous leader who was there, what he delivered and what people are talking about, the deliverance he did or the development he did, you want to surpass that. Taking, for example, when Kibaki took over, he tried to bring the economy back and also tried to make some little development, especially on infrastructure. Now, when Uhuru came in, he tried to surpass what Kibaki had done by building several roads, which was okay. Now, here we are with Dr. Ruto, President Ruto. He wants to overshadow the rest. Now, the challenge comes in where shall we get this fund to do all these projects? Are they the priority at the moment? Are they going to generate some income to the government? By the end of the day, what the government needs is tax collection to run the system of the government. If we launch a project that cannot generate income to the government will remain poor, like during those time of Moi, whereby the police were using Mahindra vehicle as their speed vehicles. I think you remember that. So this is now a challenge for us, and the way you've said, if Mama Mboga is going to benefit, the Mama Mboga can only benefit if the government is making good returns and can utilize to subvert the Mama Mbogas either on health matters, either on education matters, infrastructure, all those small things. But now here, the way this newspaper questions about the fund, like my brother said here, we are saying maybe the government is going to Professor is looking at me. Prof, you wait. You want to hear? Yes, maybe, and I've seen people lamenting that now the state-owned properties, entities, are being leased out. In my mind, sometimes it can be good. So we have some state-owned entities that are not making profit, Victor. But we have some which are making profits. Those which are making profits, I don't think if it is good for the government to lease out or sell it out, no. The government can sell out those ones which are not making profits. And there are so many in this country. But those which are making good profit, let the government retain and look for more.
To boost them.
To boost them. That is my take.
Okay. Dr. Based on what's on the front pages?
Yes, thank you, Victor. You know, my I've been more attracted to the issue of the first world, how we get to the first world, and how we have abandoned, or how the administration has abandoned the bottom up, going into infrastructure project, huge projects in the country. The question is, who needs these things that are being done? You know, we must manage the country in public interest. It's not about what the leader feels strongly about, but it's what is going to deliver for the interest of the public. Kenyans are still languishing in poverty. Kenyans are still bearing the burden of heavy taxation. Kenyans are suffering in education sector, for instance. There's no capitation to universities. There's no capitation for schools. We are killing our education system, so to speak. The economy is doing badly. We cannot borrow, and I see some dailies headlines saying we cannot borrow. We have lost the capacity to borrow from the banks to be able to do our own development. You can't develop for people. Development must be based on the people themselves. It is us. It's me to build my house. You just give me, enable me, empower me. By having a better economy, you do your business, you do your job, you do your consultancy, and build a house for yourself. Then we'll have money also in circulation to be able to support economic progress. But in this case, we are seeing huge projects being proposed by the president. And I think this is his own dream, his own illusions on how to develop the country. And I'm sure he must have been given this as a really grand idea by his advisors, who have actually been theoretical all through. They have no link to the public and the public interest.
That's you said that your main interest is on the first world, all right?
Yes.
That bit. Let me read for you, perhaps, what, according to the explanation, what a first world country is all about. It says that a first world country today means that a highly developed and prosperous nation with strong democracies, capitalist economies, advanced infrastructure, and a high standard of living. Through the term that originated during the Cold War between the US is now aligned some of the nations, and modern metrics include high GDP, all right, high GDP, low political risk, all right, stable finances, strong rule of law, good healthcare, and high human development index.
Yes, you're right. And those are the things I'm talking about.
Are we there as a country?
We are not there. You know, we must have the basics. I'm sure he knows about Rostow's, there's a theorist called Rostow's stages of development. He mentions virtually what you have said, that how do we say we are ripping into the first world with the corruption that is in our country. We know clearly. No one needs any further information. You mentioned that zero investment in development. Zero spending on development in some counties. So you look at it and say, where does the money go? We budget not for salaries, but we budget also for development. Not recurrent, but also for progress, to improve, to transform institutions, transform the country. So where do we begin? Development is not about concrete walls, concrete structures, and tarmac. Yet we know for sure that the executive has interests in oil. They have interests in gold. They have interests in cement. They are now manufacturing cement, steel. They're manufacturing steel, tiles, even transformers and cables, electric cables. And the executive is doing business. In fact, unfortunately, Victor, the country is about political management all through since 2022. Not about managing the affairs of the country, to transform the country and to change people's lives, which should be now the basis. Healthcare,
it should be so
human
easy.
rights,
it should
and
be
all
so
those
easy,
issues.
Dr. Because the money is not going to come from our taxes.
It does not matter. It does not matter where the money comes from. But we will be in debt. Already we have huge debts. We are kind of almost insolvent if you were to speak about finances. I'm not a finance person or economist. But if you have huge debts, you even borrow locally heavily. This is not rocket science.
Yeah.
We were there in the 1980s and early 90s when IMF, World Bank came up and said we can't excessively borrow. And it's true, because that is why the cost of credit is so high in our country. I can't borrow. He has taxed me dry. I don't even have capacity to borrow, even if I wanted to borrow. So how do you develop the country when you have crippled your population, your citizens? Is it about you or is it about the people?
Are we being pessimist? Mheshimiwa Mwangangi, good morning. Good to see you. He's the Deputy Governor of Machakos County. Good to see you, sir. Karibu.
Asante.
We are just taking a look at front page of the Daily Nation at the Standard. It's already fire. I don't know what you make on that. It's about the infrastructure and the questions about the funds, where it's going to come from, the utilization, the formation, and the legality of that fund itself. I don't know what you think. Karibu.
I have not much to think. Because I'm not seeing the practicability of the same. I will tell you why. You know, development is not necessarily infrastructure. Development is both human and also the other necessities.
Yes.
If you are asked today how you arrived here at KBC, our national broadcaster, you will say maybe you will give a chronology of activities, how you woke up, how you fueled your car, how you drove here, or you are picked and you are brought here. That is lacking in what we are being told. Secondly, we have already a blueprint development plan, Vision 2030. I think by now anybody serious will be telling the country where we are as far as that document is concerned. Then from there we will be told now we will base our next level of development by this document. Even African Union has Vision, I think, 2063. Now, this of Kenya is based on what? Okay? This is the administration that has borrowed heavily compared to another administration since independence.
Yeah.
This is the administration that has collected so much revenue, yet even devolution is dying in Kenya. As I sit here, I can tell you, I'm a practitioner, I'm a theorist today in devolution. It is dying. So I don't understand. Personally, when I look at these people, when they talk of transforming this country to first world, I just look at them and say, but I understand. It is just another futuristic hope, creating hope, so that they can see if they can be returned to leadership come 2027. I can tell you. But when it comes to practicability of what this Woda group are saying, I can't explain. I will tell you for free.
The president says that we are way behind schedule. We ought to have been at par with Singapore and the Asian Tigers. But tukumbali sana. And the journey began on Monday with the launch of that fund.
You see, I wasn't here, but we follow what is happening about our country, even from wherever we were. Now, we started being told the cabinet is meeting and whatever they will pass. So now, what is the point of taking it to cabinet if already it has passed? Now, just look at some of the pronouncements. I can tell you, at the end of the day, this country will be left, whatever we are being told will be used to transform this country to first world. It will leave this country to huge debts at the end of everything.
Daniel, you traveled. How do they, all of you have traveled, how do they make it? or how did they make it? One of them is tackle corruption. In some countries, by your name being mentioned in the morning, by midday you're normal. Just by a mere mention.
I'm a student of Korea. I'm actually, I was made in Kenya and assembled in Korea. So
that is good.
So I know
you can take that again. Made in Kenya and
assembled in Korea.
Assembled in Korea.
Yeah,
I like that.
So I learned so much about how Korea developed, and you know, Korea actually is one of the best lessons we have, because Korea, you remember the times of Jomo Kenyatta, we even gave them aid of $10,000, you know, at some point. Then Korea initiated something called the New Village Movement, which is called Semao Lundong, where they carried people who were convinced, you know, to own the development into their hands. For example, if there's a bridge to be made, the people came together in their what we used to call a Harambe system. You know, they came together and they donated labor. The government maybe could donate maybe some materials, but the people themselves, you know, took responsibility, you know, for their development. Yeah. And you saw this in 1997 during the what you used to call Kyongjae, the economic when Korea had an economic crisis, where you see the Korean people selling, you know, necklaces, selling gold to bail out. At that time, Korea had a loan from the IMF. But so the people were selling their stuff to bail out the government from the IMF. So Korea now is no longer getting aid from the IMF. They are giving aid to other people. You know, and this was just basically 40 or 50 years ago. But where did the rain beat us? Korea today, corruption is a big issue. I can tell you about former presidents, immediate former presidents who are in jail. Who are in jail. The police, we saw in the other few months ago, where a serving president, you know, who was still in office, was in jail. You know, so if we don't fight corruption,
but again, that depends on the judicial system and the constitution and the rule of law.
So the systems are working.
Yeah, right.
You get my point. So we have a beautiful constitution in Kenya, but our systems are not working. The police themselves cannot arrest. If wakisikia atume ameenda arrest governor, akifika huko anaona tu vile governor kuna hizo magari nini, he gets the police himself. Akipewa kitu kidogo, he will go back. You get my point. So our police system, we are not even paying them well enough to be courageous to implement the law. You understand? Yeah. So number one, in this country, if we cannot take care of education, if we cannot improve our education system, the education system we have today is a 300-year-old colonial whatever education that was given to us to basically manufacture workers for the colonialists. We are yet to review it in a way that helps us to meet our needs today. Okay. Number one is education, security. If we don't fix those two, you know, and we don't fix corruption, then we can bid Singapore goodbye.
Let's take a quick break and come back. I still want to continue this one, and then now we take a look at the year that was and a focus on 2026. Stay with us.
Why didn't you tell me? Why did you do it without asking me first?
Because we were having problems at the time. Besides, you were still quite hurt because of Federico's death.
But right now I'm taking care of the design and promotion of the factory.
You need psychiatric help.
That is what you want, don't you? You want them to send me to a loony bin to get rid of me.
You're the only woman with whom I would like to live with.
Sisi natetemeka mpaka polisi akasema wacha sina anika hii watu kwa jua kwanza. Sasa sisi akanikwa kwa jua.
Kama nguu.
Kwa nini unakubali kupepo na kali ya nyama?
Wewe ni nyama.
Wewe, amka.
Kijana wewe lala. Mtu asikusumbue. Hao watu ambao walipepwa hapo ni wanyama ama ni nyama?
Anapeleka nyama ya binadamu ambaye yuko hai.
Watu si nyama.
Hao watu iko hai. Wewe anabebanga nyama ya wanyama.
Na ndio wewe sasa uliamua kubeba mwanadamu ambaye iko hai. Na gari iko -1. What did you expect?
I expect them to die.
Yes.
Ala.
Amina kapewa kikombe cha maji ya kunywa.
Wengine hudhani kuwa Uislamu ulimfanya mwanamke kuwa duni, asiye na sauti wala haki, lakini ukweli ni kinyume chake. Uislamu unamtambua mwanamke kuwa mwenye haki kamili ya kumiliki mali, kusoma, kufanya kazi halali na kuchagua mwenzi wake wa ndoa.
Je, maiti ana haki gani kwako wewe ndugu Muislamu?
Wewe ni mwenye kupitisha desturi yao. Wao baada ya kufa, wazazi hao walikuwa na desturi ya mambo ya khairi ambayo walikuwa nayafanya. Ndiyo, kama walikuwa nayo, tafadhali usiyasimamishe.
No, the government.
All right, welcome back. Okay, so let's continue this and coming to the final tail end of this discussion. So you're saying Korea has made it, but that's because the AFCON system that is working. Through my description of what a first world country is, I don't think Dr. would say that the education system in this country is not working because he was out striking for how many days?
49 days.
50 days.
50 days. And just to establish the figure. And nobody cares.
What do you think about that?
We should not be, in this civilization, our lecturers, our teachers should not be in the street begging for money. The countries that are developed today have ensured that the teachers, actually the teaching profession, should be the most honorable profession, the most respected profession. To become a teacher in countries like Finland, like Korea, it's very difficult. You understand? But look at how we mistreat our teachers. We let them go to the streets. We let our lecturers make noise. You know, well, they should be in class. Developing, training our most important human resource, which is our youth population. You understand? Our population, what other people call the youth bulge, for me, this is our diamond, this is our gold. And these lecturers are the ones, if you want to have a good years to come, maybe next 10 or 20 years, what I like calling Vision 2050, what these lecturers are doing, what teachers are doing in class today is very, very important.
Is to polish the mind.
If we get it wrong, if we get it wrong in our classrooms today, that means, in 2050, even before then, we have a serious problems. Last year, you see what happened in this country. The Gen Z, coming out and doing what they were doing. And I can tell you, like my kids, they're young, 14, 15, they're very sharp with the phones. They can get information. You won't tell them anything. If we do not guide them properly, I can tell you, then they are the 2050. Will look like 2024 will look like a child's play, because these young people, they don't have time anymore for corruption. They don't have time for bad governance. They want development. They want it fast. What Mutua used to call Mandeleo chap chap. They want it quickly. You understand? So if you cannot, if we do not take care of our education system, remember this is the country where, when you fail, you want to be a lawyer. When you fail, then you go, say, end up kuwe mwalimu, go and become a trained teacher.
Okay.
Or
so
become,
what is quite urgent, because when you talk about development and governance, these are two, they're broad, but they go hand in hand, development and governance. The president talks about, in 30 years' time, Kenya will be like Singapore. So we are behind schedule. But what is now quite urgent? Wafula?
You see, I want to echo what my friends have said, and it is very key. And I remember very well, immediately after independence, we had a law prohibiting those people working in the system to do business in the government, with a lot of reasons. One, they'll compromise the performance.
Yeah.
They'll compromise the time schedule, and even the delivery, the quality, so many things, because they are in the system. Right now, I don't know, that law disappeared somewhere. Now you see many people who are in the system are the one doing business. They are paid, they are involved in quotation, generating the schedule, and then quotation, tendering, they are awarded themselves. So with that one, most of the things that are being done, you see some of them are substandard, they have compromised everything, and that is where now the corruption emerges from. And this one has been a major problem in this country. Immediately that law disappeared somewhere. It disappeared somewhere. Now that one, the source of corruption in this country. I think if the government want to bring this country to Singapore the way they have tested very well, with that roadmap, then they should first fight corruption in the system itself. That's one. Two, bring that law that whoever in the system should not be found doing business, because more than 80% are now seriously doing business in the government. As this paper, you see, the Daily Nation, you can see 20 governors spend zero money in development. And I've gone through, even my governor is there, and it is a fact. It's not that it is a newspaper, no. My governor has also spent zero money in development. No, I mean, there is no tarmac road put in place during his regime, even a kilometer. That is now 2 years. But the paper has just highlighted the last financial year. Now, you can see the essence of bringing this devolution is now disappearing somewhere with personal interest in governance.
Yeah.
That is the bottom line, my friend.
Okay.
But now, based
on what you said, I have to say that Machakos reported some good performance from that report.
Okay, I've just said
I could
20.
I could see DG looking at you.
No, I've just said 20, and the 20 are just listed there. So
Yes.
if Machakos is not there, don't feel that.
I also have the same report here. Machakos is well. I'll come to that, DG. Well done. Okay.
So the way my friend said, education is one of the pillars of development. And this one, I started saying that the government need to make money, need to generate money, need to have state-owned properties that generate good money. That is one, to make the government rich. Now, if the government is not rich, then the education system definitely will collapse. Things will be compromised. We have had several education systems coming up, and I remember even the 844, Moi 844, it was a good system. The only thing, the Rwanda and the whatever that were taken to schools were disappearing, and that fund allocated those items in primary schools. The ministry stopped supplying, but actually in the budget were there. Okay. Now corruption started from there. The second thing, my friend, if we cannot also improve the health sector, which is very key, health sector in this nation is key. If the government cannot look the best way of solving the health sector, then we are doomed. We will dream of Singapore.
Right. Doctor, what is the political undertone in all this? Because, yes, Wanjiku has the trust deficit. Well, it might work or might not work, but what is the political undertone in it?
Thank you, Victor. My view is that the president is just doing political management. He's not doing any other work since his election except political management. Everything we have seen in this country is actually political management. You mentioned earlier about his UDA leaders calling for a split on Mount Kenya. We had it in the media saying, you know, title deed Mount Kenya East, title deed Mount Kenya West. The president is a symbol of national unity. He's not saying it, but you can understand that this is his voice. So the president is not interested in keeping even this country together. His interest is to win election 2027, like he did in 2022. That you say anything, you can promise hell or heaven in order just to win elections. Look at the civil service. As one of the preconditions for takeoff, for us to take off, we must have an efficient, meritocratic, professional civil service that actually is efficient, that delivers to the public and is able to implement public policies that transform the country. But what do we have today? Every manager at the top of any ministry, who are actually the ones that they are the accounting officers, are politically appointed. He just kicked out the merit in the civil service. You work until you now get promoted to the PS, to be PS. How many PSs do we have now that actually have worked through the ranks, have grown through the ranks in government? So that you can see people also aspire to be in the public service so that they can rise to the top. But at the top is political appointees, everywhere political appointees. They have failed the country. If we cannot professionalize our civil service, we're wasting time. Because the president is lecturing everyone and directing them what to do. Yet they are the technical people who should actually advise government. Then there are political advisors surrounding the government, I mean the president. People who are really theorists, they cannot even point to him that for us to take off, we need these conditions. Education has been mentioned here. I wanted to say, globally, 2022, I attended the UNGA in New York, and on education issues, we were talking about transforming education. Not that for us to transform education that transforms. Yeah. And Kenya is a big player. But what are we seeing in the country since 2022? We're seeing less and less investment in education. We have more confusion even in financing our students in our universities. We have all this confusion. And it's about education really where we can develop technology, because technological development and developments in science are also a precondition for development. Because Korea did not wake up one day and say Samsung here and another. It was not about what the president is saying. It was through research, education, through research, technology development that we can be able to innovate and be able to industrialize in our country, and also to have that takeoff, the conditions for takeoff into the first or second world, first world. So I see that there is a problem, really a disconnect. I don't know who advises the president, because you cannot just say, oh, by building a road, then we shall be developed. By building houses and taking away money from workers, we are being developed. The corruption issue, I wanted to just mention something. Yeah. Singapore, their cliche is clean government. Clean government. They mean it. You should see any transitions, they remind their people. Clean government. Prime Minister comes in, new one comes in, says, you know ours, clean government. How can we develop with a dirty government? A government that everyone is busy looting and living large when the citizens are living in poverty.
It's been a very tough year, gentlemen, and a very fast one. DG, I look at this report here that Omomi has talked about. You're safe. You're safe. You spent on something. You're safe, I have to say. Yes. Yeah, the report says that some countries...
is one of victims. Transoya, my governor, with the Taro movement.
I'll come to that. The report says that some of the countries that emerged top performers, one of them is Isiolo, posting 17% of development budget absorption rate in the first quarter. Kirinyaga followed with 7%, while Machakos, Mandera, Muranga, Kirinyaga, Makueni each attained 5%, placing them among the relatively better performing developed units. Si tumpige tu makofi DJ. Tafadhali. Seriously.
Daktari. Well done, Machakos.
5%.
And that's according to the report by
absorption
the
rate.
You see,
just thank God because we have something.
Why is it not 100%?
You should tell us.
Should we
Good question. Tell us.
See, that's why I said devolution is dying in Kenya. Look at even the one we are talking about leading, Isiolo, 17%.
Yes.
Is that anything to mention, really? Anyway, he talked of...
It's failed.
My friend talked of Korea.
Yeah.
Allow me to weigh in on this. Without putting education at the center of any development of a country, you are not likely to achieve much. Korea ensured education is at the center of anything they did, and it is not only Korea. Today, if you want quality education, you will think of any developed country and take your loved one there to go and study. Why? Because those countries, they know there is no transformation, there is no development without addressing the issue of human development. It's very key. Number two, you know, the late Prime Minister used to challenge this, you know, we used to campaign with him all over.
Yeah.
And anywhere he went, he could challenge this administration, then competitors, to talk about corruption. And they could not until very 11th hour, painfully, they talked about it. And even today, when people make a lot of noises, when you will see somebody stand somewhere and say, we are going to deal with corruption, hiyo imeishia hapo. Imeishia hapo, tunaendelea.
What has the year been?
Before I come to that, I want to say everybody would want Kenya to be that country, first world. But let's avoid two things. One, we have a document, or rather we have something in place that is only known and advocated for by the president and not any other Kenyan, because nobody knows. In Kenya, it is constitutional requirement that anything we do in Machakos, as far as it is touching on the public must be subjected to public input. This UDA group, who has allowed them to talk about this thing touching on Kenyans, and there is no input at all from the Kenyan population.
An executive order.
Okay.
That's an executive order decision.
Top down.
Yes, I'm telling you, this is something that is very serious. That is how you will see somebody rush to court, and then if court issues some injunctions here and there, you see somebody is stalling development. Why? Because in your planning, you did not factor Kenya's views on what you intend to do. It's very important. Now, the year. The question of how the year has been, you know one thing, this administration came to power and they instantly created millions in poverty. How? Through taxes. When you tax me, the issue of is it NSSF, is it Shisha, is it housing levy, and you did not, it is the same executive order you are talking about. You did not involve me, yet you want my money to do all those programs you want to do. You know, I find it strange.
Yeah.
And in many cases, so many people had committed their salaries so that they can maybe educate their kids, they can educate themselves, they can do a few things here and there, and then you impose a tax which is a must pay. What do? You create instant millions in terms of poverty. That has a trickle effect down there, and that is not what we are saying. You know, we were told bottom up. Before you tell us about Singapore, what is the status of this bottom-up thing? What have you done about it? How many people have you lifted out of poverty? You know? So the year has been a strangling one.
Yeah.
And that's why you are seeing the strangling goes down even to the entities, the 47 entities, counties. Why? You are talking about own source revenue to finance some of these things. How are you going to raise it when the taxation from the national government is up there? How do you go about it? You must think seriously the road to raising that own source revenue, because you are taxing the same population which is being taxed by the national government.
Are we seeing a better future, Daniel, in 1 minute?
I think the future
based
is
on
always,
what the year has been.
We always have to be optimistic. But for me, this year has seen a higher level of civic awareness. You know, especially after the Gen Z uprising last year, we have had people, you know, questioning their government. We have had people, you know, coming up, and the youth have seen Gen Zs, you know, questioning some of the projects that the government wants to come up with. And I think this civic awareness, I think, is very, very crucial because then it forces the government to actually up its game. So I think this is very, very clear. And so this is what gives me hope, because we have if we have a citizenry that does not question its government, you know, we have other countries in the region where citizens are basically like slaves, you know, where the president and the, you know, just dictates, you know. So in Kenya we are better off because at least we have a citizenry that is increasingly woke, and you could see even the effect this had on the neighboring countries like Tanzania, where we had, you know, of course they had an election there, and the Tanzanian people at least woke up. They had been on a slumber. So they woke up, and they are now beginning to question some of the things that before you could not question. So if we have a citizenry that is serious about governance, because you have to know, Victor, that these people in government are just human beings just like me and you. They were not born presidents. They were put there. The moment citizens give up on their country and let them do whatever they want without questioning, then we do not have hope. So I think for me this is very, 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 very important. And we have also seen the opposition, of course, is getting organized. I think this is the year, I don't know whether it happened this year, when Gachagua was removed from his deputy president's post and is now reorganizing himself in the opposition, and at least the opposition is getting reorganized and giving, you know, when you have a country, we have a multi-party system, so we need a country, you know, that you know, can have checks and balances. So a strong opposition is very, very key. And of course, we also, this is the year that Raila, of course, joined the broad-based government, and also that diluted the opposition, the checks and balances you give to government. And of course, unfortunately, we had Raila, of course, exiting the stage. And now we have a situation whereby we don't know exactly who is in opposition strongly and who is not.
Yes, but before you come to you, Wafula, and Dr. here, allow me to bring, you know, gentlemen, you've been so good to me the whole year, and we've done this, and we have to thank God, absolutely. Waking up at those early morning to attend this show throughout the year has never been that easy, and I have to thank you in a very special way. And that's why there's a very young lady here I want to bring her on set as she comes. Umwami, in 1 minute, the year has been, what the year has been to you, so that we wrap it up very fast.
I think if it is a parting shot, then I'll first mourn Mheshimiwa Jirongo, whose case is underway, and also mourn Amimo of KBC. He has been a good friend of ours. I like his work. And also, now the year ends with so many challenges. Apart from Jirongo leaving, Baba has also left us. We saw one guy dying from the police cell. That was the man from Siaya. So many things have happened this year. Gen Z came up. It's also a challenge to our nation. It's a challenge for this year. Rigiji was given a red card in the administration of this regime. It's also a challenge for us. At least we have learned a lesson. It is now the first time after having the new constitution that the deputy president can show the way. So it's, this year had so many things in place, and the only time cannot allow us to mention most of them.
Yeah.
But the year has been with a lot of traverses.
Okay.
Yes.
Dr.
Yes.
Maybe Cynthia to come. Cynthia? Yeah, we need to do this. We need to do this in a very special way. Dr. The year has been a very tough one.
Yes.
In your own perspective?
I will just mention. This year we have had we had the protest Sabasaba.
Yeah, she's here.
Sabasaba.
Can you see something here? As you speak, can you see?
Yes,
something here,
Sabasaba. I can see.
Good morning, Kenya.
Good morning, Kenya.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning, Kenya. GMK.
Cynthia, just come over this side. Just come. This looks amazing. Dr. Just endelea tu. I can see.
Yes.
You've been now you know the reason why.
Now, I was saying that we had, the year was not good, I could say, perhaps very little to celebrate. Sabasaba, you know what happened.
Yeah.
The security forces massacred youth on the street. The abductions continue, disappearances, extrajudicial killings. Many people are dying in custody, and human rights violations. You can name all those that are unconstitutional, and the state does not seem to take corrective measures.
Yeah.
In some cases, actually, the state is the perpetrator. Then there is a clawing back of democratic gains. Not in Kenya alone, but regionally. We have seen that in Uganda, in Tanzania, seriously in Tanzania. And Kenya, we have had issues of xenophobia in Tanzania. Kenyans have been abducted, they have been killed, and the government just keeps quiet. And we have been the lowest in terms of diplomatic, relations and also being proactive to support our citizens outside the country. By elections, heavy bribery, violence, goonism, failure of IBC and to be able to deliver a clean, of course, to now be free and fair elections.
Very good.
And for all this, what I want to say is that it spells a doom to our future, but we can change the situation. We have to be optimistic. All the agencies that are mandated to take care of these issues should actually act decisively and also act fairly in the interest of justice.
Thank you.
I just want to,
we need
one
to cut
thing,
this cake.
one thing on Prof.
Omwami, I'm
just
celebrating.
one thing, because I just want on this issue of Jirongo, I just want to plead with the national government at least to look for independent investigators, like during that time of Hauko, we looked for Scotland Yard. Now on this matter of Jirongo, the government should look an independent body to come and investigate. That's my prayer.
I have a lady here called Cynthia. Cynthia, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
So good to
what
see
a
you
beautiful
too.
cake.
Thank you.
Dr. is salivating next to it. Yeah, Dr. Can you see that?
I cannot imagine what's behind the colors.
Right. Okay. Just tell us yourself in 30 seconds if you can.
My name is Cynthia Lutome. I am a baker at Basin Bakes. I have been baking for the past 5 years.
Okay.
This is what I do. And today I have brought you a cake in different flavors: passion, blueberry, and strawberry. Yes.
There is this cake here written, thank you. This is to you, all of you gentlemen. And there is a cup. This cup is for GMK. You've always had your cups here.
Yeah.
You've
Yes.
always known.
Yeah.
Always a cup of tea. The only that today we didn't have a cup of tea. But I want to say thank you so much, gentlemen, for doing this. Perhaps you can give us, you can cut it for us the best way you know how, and then you serve us as we wind up. Okay. Thank you so much. How can we find you? Just as you do that. Kata cake. Where can we find you?
I am on all social media platforms: Instagram, TikTok, at Basin Bakes.
Okay.
Yes.
Where are you located?
Ongata Rongai.
Very good.
Yes.
So DG had a birthday. Do you have a birthday? Do you have a birthday?
Yes.
When is your birthday?
September 20.
Oh, I have to wait for another
You don't
year.
know. You don't know your birthday. Yeah, you can do that. You can serve my guests as we say thank you to you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. And even now, you as our viewer.
By the way, Victor.
Yes.
On just one word on education, because it is part of this year. Principals have a directive from the government.
Yes.
Come next year. Now we are breaking for Christmas. Come next year, they are going to increase the fees. That is also killing the dream for
the fees.
education. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You can just go ahead and feed my guests. Just feed them.
So
okay.
More trouble.
We are doing this.
Yet the talk is
yes.
now.
Start with the daktari. You can feed the daktari. Daktari, thank you so much. We also have cupcakes here, by the way, looking very nice.
Wow.
Yeah, let me just wacha niwaringie kidogo. Hii kitu inafunguliwa aje?
Wacha waone.
Okay, they have cupcakes here. You can see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting.
As you do that.
Very good. All right. So there we go. We have the cupcakes. Yeah, nice one. There you go. So if you have got some orders, you can support, young entrepreneur Kenyans. You can talk to her on her social media handles and also do that. Well packaged. It's written, backprint baked. They're very nice. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. I think I need to give all of you. Exactly. Yeah. Umwami, that is yours. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you very much.
Daniel, asante sana, and of course, DJ, that is also yours. I also have mine.
No. Change this one.
Which one do you have? Thank you for watching, and goodbye, and Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Oh, that one is for... Look at this guy.
You'd really like to perform this surgery at the end of your term here.
I am a member of the medical team, part of China's medical mission.
Upasuaji mkubwa namna hii huwezi kufanya peke yako. Nani kati yenu angependa kuwa msaidizi wake?
Changlai, check the vitals.
Normal.
Has the tracheal tube been sterilized?
Yes, it's ready.
Cut open trachea.
Why didn't you tell me? Why did you do it without asking me first?
Because we were having problems at the time. Besides, you were still quite hurt because of Federico's death.
But right now I'm taking care of the design and promotion of the factory.
You need psychiatric help. That is what you want, don't you? You want them to send me to a loony bin to get rid of me.
You're the only woman with whom I would like to live with.
Wiki hii kwenye mkulima
tunajifunza umuhimu wa maziwa ya mbuzi,
kisha uwezekano wa kupanda mimea mingi katika kijisehemu kidogo cha ardhi.
Kilimo tunapata mboga hatununuangi sisi, matunda hatununui, na pesa ukitaka kila siku lazima upate pesa.
Ungana nasi Jumamosi saa 10:30 hapa KBC Channel 1
kwa mseto kamili wa kilimo.
And today we want to go to the reality of self-leadership. We have many broken people trying to lead men who are already sober and okay.
For me, one of those lessons that stand out loudly is self-leadership, purpose, and well-being as key drivers of good leadership.
Pack of lions led by a lamb will defeat a pack of lambs led by a lion.
There's the uniqueness that you are born with that gives you the right to lead in your own right.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Yesu amezaliwa, Yesu amezaliwa.
The holiday season is here again. It's family time.
Tunaanguka nayo.
Oh yes, it's a season to be jolly. And so, grab a seat, relax as your favorite Christmas hosts line up to indulge you this year.
It's about to go down.
There's a lot of food and drinks to go around.
It's delicious.
Great music for the soul. It's unbeatable. It's joyous. It's Christmas on KBC Channel 1.
Nyanya wa ajabu sana. Sikuwa na njia nyingine. Mbona hukuniambia? Ilinibidi nifikirie haraka sana.
Una kichwa kigumu, una ujeuri mwingi na unamdharau mamako sana, kisha ukaribu uhusiano wetu.
Acha nikwambie Tumaini, utaipata mwanamke kama mimi. Hebu niangalie vizuri. Niangalie na uniangalie vizuri tena.
Dr. Bunaya Alfie Godana was born in 1952 in Dukana along the Kenya-Ethiopia border. Godana grew up as an ordinary child of a nomadic family. Herding camels was the main occupation of the Gabra community in the Chalbi Desert. Taking children to school was frowned upon. The region had poor infrastructure. Cattle rustling and banditry thrived. In Dukana, which is more than 600 kilometers away from Nairobi, there were no learning institutions in the 1960s when Godana was starting school. The nearest primary school was at the North Horror Trading Center, approximately 70 kilometers from his home. The missionaries worked jointly with chiefs and community elders to help mobilize young children, mainly boys, to go to school. Gabra elders picked Godana to join the school. His sterling academic achievement has remained a model for students in the region. He placed Marsabit Boys High School on the national academic map after he scored a 6-point distinction in his O-levels. He proceeded to Mary School for A-levels, where he scored 3 straight A's, qualifying to join the University of Nairobi's Faculty of Law. He graduated at the top of his class with a Bachelor of Laws first-class honors in 1976. Godana worked briefly at the university as a tutorial fellow in the law faculty. The university then sponsored him to pursue a master's degree in law at the University of London, after which he returned to the University of Nairobi to teach for a while before enrolling at the University of Geneva's Graduate Institute of International Studies in 1980 for a doctorate in international law, graduating in 1984. He returned to the faculty in Nairobi as a lecturer, rose to the position of senior lecturer, and became chairman of the public law department. He resigned from this position to pursue a career in politics. Godana was first elected to parliament in 1988 to represent the newly created North Horror constituency, which was carved out of Marsabit North during a review of constituency boundaries in 1986. With his knowledge of law, the sharp-witted Member of Parliament was quick to study parliamentary rules and procedures in his first stint in Parliament, and he stood out as a knowledgeable debater. Moi appointed him as an assistant minister in various ministries. He worked in health, Office of the President, and later Foreign Affairs. After his re-election to Parliament in 1992, he was elected Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, deputizing Speaker Francis Ole Kaparo. He served in the capacity until end of his 5-year term. By the time the 1997 elections approached, Godana was one of the most influential politicians in Kano. Following his victory in the polls, Moi appointed him Minister for Foreign Affairs to sort out the Kenya-Ethiopia conflict. In 2002, Moi transferred Godana to the Ministry of Agriculture as his government continued with the joint operations to flush out the rebels. Godana died in a plane crash on the way to a peace meeting in Marsabit organized by the government and scheduled for 10th April 2006. As a senior Marsabit politician, Godana was highly regarded by many, especially in North Horr constituency. One of his notable achievements was the establishment of a local non-governmental organization, Pastoralist Integrated Support Program, which today is a lifeline to thousands of nomadic communities in Marsabit. Jackie Wambiru, The Cabinet.
Glad that you're still watching KBC Channel 1. This is Good Morning Kenya. My name is Mike Migwe. Christmas season it is, and this is a time when people and goods move. The movement of people and goods spikes, and also when you look at on matters to do with road safety, there's a spike in accidents, there's a spike in loss of life when it comes to this season. And today we want to just look at the matters to do with road safety and the fact that the National Commission on Administration of Justice came up with a raft of measures to be implemented during this festive season, one of which is the introduction of mobile code. That forms the premise of our discussion this morning, and in studio I'm joined by Dr. Frederick Ochieng, who is the Traffic Commandant from the National Police Service. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you.
And also, I'm also joined by Mr. Paul Ndemo, who is the Deputy Chief Registrar, Judiciary and also Judiciary Spokesperson. Karibu sana for Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Karibu sana. And also Kefa Mongara, who is the Chief Principal Defensive Driving Trainer and Sergeant Driver at Kenya Prisons Service. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
I'm also joined by Madam Dorcas Rugut, who is the Assistant Director and Head of Nairobi Region Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. Karibu sana to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
And last but not least, Stephen Karoga, who is the Head of Corporate Affairs and Communications from the EACC. Karibu sana to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you very much for having us.
Yes, karibu sana. Now, let's get into this discussion. And with the most obvious. I'll start with you, Mr. Paul. What changes when it comes to Christmas time? Because that is when we see a rise in accidents, we see a rise in loss of lives, because people are traveling to and from the rural areas. But you look at the normal times of the year, yes, there is movement, but the kind of movement that happens during this time is different, and the accidents and loss of life, right? What changes during that time?
That's a very interesting question, because we actually wonder, it's as if there is there's a sort of a psyche that people have, that the holidays are here, the season is here, so we need to rush, I need to rush and get where I'm going. And during the press conference that was held on Monday, that was issued by the National Council on the Administration of Justice, the Chief Justice in her statement made a very interesting remark, and she said, the way we behave sometimes, it is as if the places we are going for holiday is a moving target. It is not a moving target. And the way we rush, the way we overlap on the roads, the way we misconduct ourselves on the road, really exposes us to so much danger. And it is completely unnecessary. So it's something that we really don't understand why. At that time, everybody's feeling the need to rush, overlap, speed, drink, drive under influence, obstruct, and then you end up causing such difficulties on the road for other users, and even to the people you yourselves are carrying on the road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dr. Frederick.
Yes.
You're the commandant of the traffic. From your perspective, even as a Kenyan, what do you think changes during this festive season?
Oh, thank you. On my own perspective, and having carried some of the research as to why this movement during this Christmas Eve, one of the factors being that the holidays are successive, the 25th and the 26th. When you look at the calendar of the year, there's no any other holidays that follow successively the way it's a Christmas and a Boxing Day. So they have quite a number of days not reporting duties. So people opt to do it.
Allow me to cut you short on your mic, I'm told, is having problems, but I'll come back to you. But Kefa, you do defensive training for drivers.
Yes.
But then again, you look at the behavior of drivers on the road during the festive season.
Yes.
What do you think changes?
What I can say, those drivers know that they are not well trained. The problem is a greed of money during this season. And mostly, weak management of the circles, because they are after money. They are not doing proper arrangements for their drivers, for speeding on the road, and mostly fatigue. They are not managing for shifts. One driver from here to a long distance to Kisumu at night, and at the same time, it's the same driver at the daytime back to Nairobi. This driver unakuta mental health problem and develop because of this. Because unakuta they are under influence. That's the only problem I can say in most of accidents during this season. And mostly we have new drivers. They have the vehicle, they start moving a long distance, whereby they are not well trained or having enough experience for traveling in a long distance. Those new drivers, mostly they are causing a lot of accidents on the road. And in training, schools, driving schools, some of the subjects, trainers are not well trained. Like now, basic mechanic. Every driver must know about basic mechanic and the consequence. These new vehicles nowadays, they show you danger signals before anything. And these signals can show you something can happen. Even the brakes are wearing out. So to maintain that vehicle. So unakuta some drivers doesn't know the meaning of those signals in instrument lights and gauges. Some of them, they don't know the meanings. That's why mostly drivers are complaining that brake failure. There is no brake failure.
And even so, they do not understand those warning signs on the dashboard.
No, they don't. They don't understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe before I come to Madam Dorcas, going back to Dr. Frederick here, you are executing your points on why, from your perspective, you think the mic was okay. These accidents do pile up during the festive season. If you may continue on that.
Yes, I start again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may bring it to your attention that this movement during the festive seasons, there are more movement because of the holidays that follow one another, successive holidays. 25th is a Christmas holiday, 26th is a Boxing Day. So there's quite a number of some days before the public servants and even other workers don't report on duty. So, and it is also like a culture that Kenyans have developed, and it is not only Kenyans, and mostly Christians have developed, that during the festive season, schools are also closed. Yes. There's that movement. In fact, it is from movement from urban to rural. And every person would want to reach home, even if the fare is increased to which, to how much. Yes. So, and then that is where you will even find vehicles even moving routes that they are not used to. New drivers, new vehicles. Every person, a vehicle that has been lying there for years, for some times, without moving for far. That's the time that they even now drive from Nairobi to rural homes. So it is just like that one. I can term it as urban, rural migration or movement. Yes.
Madam Dorcas, is it that people don't plan for these trips early enough, or what happens?
I don't think people do not plan. They plan, and that is why they all travel at the same time. So that you find on 24th, 23rd, everyone is busy rushing up country. And we all have this belief that we all have to get home. We have to be with our parents, our families. So everyone is in a rush. People are overtaking on continuous yellow lines. People are obstructing. So it's something that people have planned, but then they've been in town all through. So on during December is when they decide, let us now rush up country for these festivities. Yeah. Yes, so people are in a rush.
Stephen, is it that to some extent, have we normalized this as a people? Because every time December inafika, we start hearing accidents here and there, and the rate goes up, loss of life also goes up. Have we, in a way, at the back of our minds, normalized that things have to happen in December?
We haven't quite appreciated the impact of some of the decisions we do. In my view, nothing changes. I think the size of the road is the same. The only thing that changes is the our mental thinking around that period. There's a feeling of urgency, like you need to get to your destination. And as one of the panelists have said, it's not a moving target. But however, every Kenyan feels you need to get to your destination as fast as possible. So most of the time you will find some of the issues and the accidents that come, they are quite avoidable. However, there is a tendency of everyone moving around the same period, and then everyone converges on the main highways around the same time, causing pileups. And if there is any probability of rain, for example, that even makes it even worse. So I don't think there is much that changes. Only it is our mental approach to the issue and the need for everyone feeling they need to get to their destination as fast as possible.
Let's come to the introduction of mobile codes, and I'll start with you, Mr. Paul. What was it necessary that these codes had to be introduced, and especially during this time?
Thank you, Mike, for that question. So you find that because of the surge that we've talked about in traffic, you have a number of people that are offending, committing traffic offenses. And it becomes very difficult for law enforcement then to effectively manage what's happening. When people think that nothing is going to be done, you can overlap, you can speed, you can obstruct, and nothing will be done, then there is actually a breakdown of law and order, and it becomes extremely difficult now for the police and the other enforcers to ensure that things are working. So when the National Council on the Administration of Justice came together, one of the recommendations, which we have now taken up very quickly, was let us set up the courts to be on duty along the routes, particularly the major highways, so that when someone is caught by the police committing a traffic offense, then you will be arrested on the spot, you will be processed by the office of the DPP,
you will be brought to court. The court will take the plea there, and if you plead guilty, you are fined on the spot, and you are released you pay the fine, then you are released to proceed on your journey. So the idea was twofold. One, for us to quickly ensure that those that are caught offending are, charged, and they are brought to justice, and they are able to pay the fine if they plead guilty, and then they can move along with their journey. So the first aspect is just, making sure that there is quick justice. The second one is also that people are not inconvenienced. So even if you have committed an offense, which you shouldn't, but even if you've committed an offense, then we don't want to inconvenience people. Because as we have had, there is a very high movement, and we want to ensure that people go and celebrate with their loved ones, they go on their holidays, they go for their journeys. So we quickly, have this court, and we are working with all the partners, the DPP, the police, the prison service, EACC. So all of us working together. You commit the offense, you are charged, you are fined, and then you can proceed on your journey, and you also don't have to block other people. And we have actually notified all our courts across the country, 143 courts across the country, to be on standby to enhance their sittings. But those that are along the major highways are the ones that we have said these ones need now to have even greater capacity for this time to handle. So it is across the country, but along the major highways, Mombasa Highway, towards Nyeri, towards Nakuru, towards Western, we have beefed up and even had engagements with our judicial officers to tell them, let's get ready, increase the number of staff. This is how you're going to do this, just to make sure that we are helping our people not to have unnecessary accidents and crashes, that affect us. Yes.
Two things.
Yes.
What happens if someone does not plead guilty?
Yes.
And number two, what happens if they are unable to raise the fine at that moment?
So if someone does not plead guilty, then they will be given a hearing date where they can now come and have the case heard, but it will be at a different time. It will not be during this period. So at that time they'll be given a cash bill. Now if they are not able to raise the cash bill, that is why we have Bwana Kefa here. And they will be escorted by the prison to be kept in remand.
Yes.
But we do not anticipate that there will be a lot of that. But arrangements have already been made. Where you're not able to raise the cash bail, then you will be kept in custody until you're either able to raise the cash bail, or until the date of your hearing, that will be at a later date, for the matter to be handled.
Indeed.
Yes.
When we come back from this short break, we'll be looking at how this now is going to enhance how the traffic police will be operating on the roads, and that is something that we are going to discuss after we come back from this short break. Stay with us.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice,
we have to do it twice.
Sisi natetemeka mpaka polisi akasema wacha si naanika hii watu kujua kwanza. Sasa sisi akanikwa kwa jua.
Kama nguu. Kwa nini unakubali kupepo na kali ya nyama? Wewe ni nyama.
Wewe amka.
Kijana wewe lala. Mtu asikusumbue. Hao watu ambao walipepwa hapo ni wanyama ama ni nyama?
Anapeleka nyama ya binadamu ambaye yuko hai.
Watu si nyama.
Hao watu iko hai. Wewe anabebanga nyama ya wanyama.
Na ndio wewe sasa uliamua kubeba mwanadamu ambaye iko hai. Na gari iko -1. What did you expect?
I expect them to die.
Yes.
Ala.
And today we want to go to the reality of self-leadership. We have many broken people trying to lead men who are already sober and okay.
For me, one of those lessons that stand out loudly is self-leadership, purpose, and well-being as key drivers of good leadership.
Pack of lions led by a lamb will defeat a pack of lambs led by a lion.
There's the uniqueness that you are born with that gives you the right to lead in your own right.
Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Good Morning Kenya, and we're talking about road safety so that we can have great festivities. Now the introduction of this mobile court Daktari, how do you see them changing the way the traffic police operate on the road going forward?
Thank you. I think this, in the first instance, it will hasten at least justice. You know, that's justice delayed is justice denied. Yes. So you can just imagine a process where a suspect is arrested along the road. He's given a cash bail if he's able to raise the cash bail. If he's not able to raise the cash bail, he's taken to court there. He takes plea. If it's a fine or a sentence, just on the same day and within a very short time. Unlike the normal process where the suspect is arrested along the road, is taken to a police station, and then may be taken to court the following day. So I think this one will hasten the process. We'll not even have those even congestions at the police stations, because we'll have the courts in progress. And it also allow even the people traveling home to be able to finish up with their cases and continue up with their journeys. And it is also good because it is also a preventive measure. People look at what is happening along the road. Justice is dispensed immediately, and then it acts as a preventive measures even to the rogue drivers and people who violate traffic rules along the roads. Because some of these things happen because of the advantage in the sense that there's no such practice or process going on along our normal roads. But when such practice is in process, then it acts as a deterrence. Yes.
Mr. Kefa Mongare, you know, Kenyans may wonder what is prison service doing as part of this festive season traffic enforcement. But I would want you to talk about the role that you are playing as Kenya Prisons Service in these mobile court operations.
As a Kenyan Prison Service, I am there as a trainer, at the same time a driver. And I'm also training other institutions outside prisons service. We are training about road safety for our drivers in Kenya to understand what is going on the road, and to reform them whereby they are going wrong, Like now, we have a combination of immediate factors which are affecting drivers and some other people who are traveling on the road. More especially, we find that most of the pedestrians are dying because of innocent. Drivers are overspeeding. Drivers are not maintaining the laws of Kenya, rules and regulations which are given. Bad safe carriages, they are maintaining carriages. They are well trained, but they grow with carriages from the other people. Distractions also make our drivers cause an accidents. Sometimes using phones, using mirror, using drugs, and the other things which are affecting them.
Driving under the influence.
Yeah, under the influence. At the same time, we have road rage factors. Road rage factors, there are some other drivers who are being influenced by drugs and some other things. They don't care. They are there as drivers, but don't care. They don't follow the rules and regulations. That's why they are killing people. We come to the management of circles. In circles, we have weak management because most of the managers are not trained fleet management. They don't know how to manage their drivers to understand their problems. They don't understand the road rules, the road rules and regulations, whereby drivers are having, most of the drivers are having mental problems. What I can say, if drivers follow the rules and regulations of the laws of Kenya, they may respect the rules and regulations and the police officers on the road, because the police officers are the final manager on the road. They are there to guide them and to make them to remember what is going to happen, what's wrong and what's good on the road.
Yes, indeed. Dorcas, you are part of this initiative of establishment of mobile courts. Talk about the ODPP's role in all this, especially now that we are going to have those mobile courts along major highways in the country.
Thank you. After Daktari makes the arrests, then we as the office of the DPP come in. They present the charge sheet to us. We look at the charge sheet, which we confirm that an offense has been disclosed. If it has not been disclosed, then we will amend. If we see the need, we will review, decline, or approve it. And then it moves to the next stage, which is where we load and it goes to court. Our role in court is basically to prosecute. So we'll appear alongside the judicial officer to prosecute the matter. Yes.
So, in terms of the speed at which these cases are dispensed, how will you ensure that this speed does not compromise on the quality of prosecutions and even fairness to the accused persons?
We said where the mobile courts will be is where the ODPP will also be. So there's fairness, there's timely dispensation of justice,
Yes.
and we ensure that the rights of the accused person are actually adhered to. Yes.
Indeed. Stephen, you know, festive season comes with a lot of things, and we cannot say that corruption is not one of the things that may come with this festive season. So what is your role in all these mobile courts, given that this is a multi-agency approach to help and reduce accidents and death on the roads?
Let me put it this way, that corruption is an enabler of impunity and a significant contributor when it comes to road carnage. We have a critical role to ensure that the system which has been put in place by the NCAJ is efficient and works properly. There are likelihood of corrupt elements infiltrating that system, be it at the point of detection, at the point of apprehension, at the point where the suspect is arraigned in court, and even during the process itself. So as the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, we will be playing two critical roles. One is integrity testing. So basically, integrity testing is where an officer, an undercover officer, presents himself or else overspeeds or overloads his motor vehicle or drives without documentation. And if he is stopped by the traffic enforcement officers and they demand for a bribe or to try and circumvent the justice process, then we can use that evidence to either take disciplinary action, and if it meets the criminal threshold, then criminal action can be taken as well. So we will be doing a lot of integrity testing. And let me put it this way, in the last financial year, we did about 166 integrity tests, focusing on different points of service delivery, be it hospitals, the national police, and many other, immigration and such. And out of that, about 152 of those tests failed, which means either there was a demand for a bribe or even the person who was arrested offered to give a bribe. 4 of them passed and 10 were inconclusive. What I mean with inconclusive is probably, let's say, for example, a traffic officer requests for to see your driving license. But he then leaves and attends to other functions or other duties and leaves you in the car. Basically, he's not demanding, but he's frustrating you so that the stakes can go higher. So we will be doing integrity testing. The second issue that we'll be doing to support this process is monitoring the entire process. So our officers will be deployed in most of the major highways and corruption-prone areas, the urban areas, and they will be able to monitor how the enforcement is being conducted. And that will, the outcome of that is to give advisory to the entire NCAJ team for purposes of making sure there is efficiency from the point someone is stopped until when the justice system, the tail end of the justice system.
Yes, the introduction of these mobile courts, from where you stand, because it will be fast-tracking these prosecutions, do you see them reducing opportunities for corruption, or maybe create new risks?
They will reduce the opportunities of corruption significantly. As I mentioned, based on our experience, most of the time people tend to feel the frustration. Maybe you are heading to a very long drive, you've been stopped, and then taken to the police, takes a lot of time, you have to again be taken to court, and people prefer to either part away with something so that at least they can cut that period of time, that it will be wasted. And that's why we are saying introduction of this is a very welcome, because the turnaround time will be very fast. And we want our appeal to members of the public: do not pay bribe. The process will be smooth. If you have found and you plead guilty, then you can pay your penalty and proceed with your journey wherever you are going. So the fact that this has been brought, the services have been brought closer to the people, it will reduce the opportunities of corruption.
Indeed.
Mike, if you allow me to just add something
yes.
on that, on the courts. The way we have structured this engagement is threefold, so that one, we have in most of the hotspots, so to speak, we have our courts already in existence. So the courts will actually be sitting at the court itself, the court premises. So that is the first one, where people will be brought physically to the court if it is near where the arrest has been done. So
it's the proximity. The second one will be, we can have, and we've already arranged to have virtual hearings. So somebody may be arrested, taken to the police station, but then a connection is then made once we have, once the DPP has approved the charges, a link will be sent from there, and from the court to the accused person and to the DPP, so that the magistrate will be in court, the person who is accused will be at the police station, so they don't have to move, and the plea taking will be done virtually. Then the third one, in instances where we have the location where the arrest has been made is a little far from the court, and we don't have that possibility of the link, then the court itself, the magistrate, will go to the police station where the person has been arrested and the case is conducted there. So we'll have those three scenarios just to ensure that they speed in terms of the delivery of justice. Yes.
Daktari, when we talk about these traffic offenses and preventing these unnecessary accidents, now that we have mobile courts, what are some of the offenses that these courts will be trying?
Okay. These courts, now the traffic offenses, because they are only exclusively for traffic offenses, most of the cases that they will be trying will be overspeeding. Drivers or motorists driving at a speed exceeding the maximum speed limit of a given road. And then they will also try offenses like driving under the influence of alcohol. And in this perspective, the officers will be using the alcohol blow and the breathalyzers to test the drivers who are driving under the influence of alcohol. And then there is this also careless driving by motorists, such that you find that these drivers, some of them just overlap. They are overlapping when the road is not even clear. They don't take due care of other road users. Some of them even overtake a fleet of motor vehicles at the same time, not even caring whether the other lane is clear for them to overtake. And even if the lane is clear, it is good for a trained driver, because the markings at the road are put by the road engineers. So even if the road is clear, but there is that continuous yellow line, which prevents a driver from crossing his lane to the other lane, they must just keep to that lane. So careless driving, and also inexperienced drivers. There are even drivers that are driving classes of motor vehicle that they are not authorized to drive. And these are the experienced drivers that cause accidents. And then those other drivers that don't even observe any traffic signs or any traffic rules, those careless drivers, those are the type of the cases that will be tried at these mobile courts. And those drivers that are driving motor vehicles which are mechanically unsound. Yeah. Yes.
Some people may have the fears that these mobile courts could be abused. Are there rules for officers that they are working under in this arrangement that is, or this approach of multi-agency with regard to the mobile courts? Are there clear rules for officers that they must stick to when dealing with people and these mobile courts?
Yeah, thank you. All officers, before they go out for any deployment of duties, there is always a briefing. Every morning, even if they had been briefed initially, but every morning there is a briefing for that particular day of work. So these officers, they are under briefing on what they are supposed to do while they are carrying out those duties with other agencies, because it is a multi-agencies, and we even invited other agencies that may partner with us in the road safeties. And we opened, and we even in previous meetings, we even invited other agencies to come and ride on the powers that police officers have, power to stop, We will stop vehicles for them, and they conduct inspections, or they conduct inspection on other relevant documents that is required of a driver or from the motor vehicle. A motor vehicle which is not compliant, then the officers are there, arrest them, and then just take them to the ODPP just next there, and the ODPP hand them over to the magistrate, and the case is over. Yes, so the officers are adequately under proper briefing on every day's event. Yes.
Sorry, Mike, it may be good just to add on terms of cases. Okay. We have, last year alone, we had 62,900. 900 cases, traffic cases alone. Yes. The leading in the cases that were filed is actually on obstruction. Obstruction was number 1. The second leading case was about contravening the Insurance Act. So I think people not having insurance, just what Dr. Cheng is talking about. And then the third one is driving under influence. So in terms of the top 3, that is what was filed last year. And in the first quarter of this year, that again is the same trend. Those again are the top 3. Yes.
Okay. Kefa, what would you advise people when it comes to the aspect of being not familiar with the roads they are using? Because we are at a season where we'll have car hires, people will hire cars to go to areas that some of the drivers do not know. What would you advise people driving, especially when it comes to areas that they are not familiar with?
What I can say, there is a formula we are using when we are driving on the road. We have SAA, assess, yani see, assess, and act accordingly. That is a formula we are supposed to use. When we are on the road, the new road, you drive 360 degrees or over, where you see from these sides. In the case of anything, you are able to control your vehicle. But don't drive like now we have a new road from Ngong to Suswa. It has a lot of meanders. It has a lot of bumps which are not seen. That's where we can, with their drivers, drive where you see, but don't drive to see where you don't see. And drive as a speed where you can control your vehicle.
That is a very important aspect you say. Drive where you see.
Drive where you see, but don't drive to see where you don't see.
Okay.
That is very you drive as a speed which you can control. 360 degrees or over. It is not easier to cause an accident that the road is bad. No. You drive, you are expecting anything can happen bad. So you must be very careful. You must be very vigilant. Like now, this road from Ngong is a new road, but a lot of meanders, a lot of corners from Ngong to Suswa. Pumps which are not seen. Some other pumps are being put in there by the community. Potholes. These are the things which are affecting most of our drivers, most of the new drivers. And a new driver, or even an old driver, you drive 200 kilometers, you have arrest. You check your vehicle, and then you can proceed with your journey. Yes. Don't drive all over from here to Kisii. No, it can't work. And a new driver, like now we have new drivers, they are hiring the vehicle, putting the family inside, and then he's using drugs on the road. Most of the people are dying on the road because of that. I can advise them to drive without using alcohol, without any drug. Drive ukiwa sober.
Because it's an offense to drive under
It's an offense. Don't. Usichungana na polisi, unachungana na polisi ya nini? Chungana na your life.
Yes.
Yeah. First of all, chungana your life and the other road users. You drive as a speed, which is required speed. The speeds are given. Like now, you drive as per the road signs. Road signs are alive. Those are not living things, are alive. They are giving you the information. They are warning you. If you are using all those road signs, and sometimes road signs are not there, you use your common sense. We have 5 senses. But the number 6 for a driver is a common sense. Yeah. So we have to use highway code. We have to learn more all the time. That's why NTSA sometimes some years back wanted drivers to be trained after 3 years. Vehicles are changing, are coming new vehicles. So you must be trained about those vehicles. Gari ya zamani si ya saa hii. Sasa road markings are not there. Don't blame road markings are not there to cause an accident. You drive where you see, as I've said. Bumps are there, which are not seen. Those are also causing most of the accidents on the road. We have observation. Some other drivers, to me, I request the government, kama ingewezekana, our drivers to go for medical checkup after some duration. Some other people, they don't know whether they are sick, ugonjwa wa sukari, diabetes, they don't know. Maji naenda kupotea pole pole. And then you cause an accident. You are driving at night. Night is a very task when you are driving during the night season. Yeah.
All right. Dorcas, maybe before you go to Dorcas, if you may allow me to contribute a little.
Yes.
On drivers, people that hire vehicles, and then they use those vehicles while driving home. In the first instance, I would advise them that even if they have hired the vehicles, in the first instance, they should first look at the vehicle, if the vehicle itself is mechanically sound. Mm-hmm. Because it is sometimes these mechanical defects that come up along the road as they are driving, and then you find an accident. And also, if they are driving in roads that they are not familiar with, because most of our roads, we have a problem of poor road infrastructure. The National Police Service has done a survey, and we have done assessment of all roads within the Republic, county by county. We have been able to identify hotspot areas. We have identified areas that don't have a proper road signage. And these drivers may not be able to know those areas. But this report we have shared with the NTSA, we have shared with the KENHA, we have shared with the KERA, but not much is done. So if drivers, if they happen to drive in roads that they are not familiar with, there is need to observe the road signage, where there are road signage. Sometimes some road signage were also erected by the KENHA or the KERA, but they have been vandalized by the locals. So you find that they were there, but then they have been vandalized by the locals, and nobody has even reported to the NTS or the agencies concerned. So there's that need for them to observe those road signages and the road markings, just as I had explained earlier on, that you may find that there's a road meandering, and you'll find that there's a continuous yellow line that had been designed there by the road engineer. So even if the road is clear, it may not be clear for long. It can only be clear just a short. And before you overtake, if you are driving, another vehicle will have come from the opposite direction. So they need just to stick to the road signs. They should not overlap or cross to the other lane when there's a continuous yellow line that is preventing them from crossing their lane to the other lane. And they must also be observant. Overspeeding also makes the drivers to lose at least the control of the vehicle. Sometimes if they overspeed, and then the problem is the road infrastructure. Sometimes it had rained and it has potholes, and then those potholes are filled by water. They may not be able to know the depth of that pothole. So that is why we always advise that there should be driving at a recommended speed, and in a particular road that the motorists are not familiar with, let them drive at a moderate speed. Thank you.
I'm told we are out of time, but I'm going to give you each one of 30 seconds to give your closing remarks. Of course, this is something that we can take all day speaking about because it's important. Lives are being lost. But then again, we have to do something. Let me start with you, Stephen, on your message to Kenyans in as far as road safety is concerned as we close.
As we close, I would like to call upon all Kenyans to respect life, to protect life, to uphold integrity during this festive season, Let us exercise patience, a little bit of patience, and promote safety on our roads. In case you encounter any incident of corruption, you can report to us on our toll-free number, which is 1551. You can visit our offices across the country, and you can also report anonymously on our website. And I also want to wish Kenyans a happy festive season.
Yes, indeed. That is very, very important. Madam Dorcas.
Yes, I would like to tell Kenyans to be careful on the road, follow the law. If you need to take a rest, especially for matatu drivers. If you need to take a rest, please take a rest. It's important to arrive alive, yes, and to wish them a Merry Christmas.
Arrive alive. That is very important. Kefa.
What I can say for our Kenyans is to promote each other for road safety, and also promote me for this book. It's Advanced Driving Guidebook. Yes. Yeah. And I wish them Merry Christmas with a better life.
Where can they get that book?
The book is 500 each. It's a very good book. You read it with you using your phone.
Where? Oh, it's even electronic.
Yeah.
E-book. An e-book.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Daktari.
Yes. Thank you. My message for members of the public is that road safety is a responsibility of every road user. When I say every road user, I mean the driver, the passengers who are carried on those vehicles, and also the pedestrians, motorcyclists as well. And for the drivers, don't drink and drive. That is suicidal. And also they should avoid overspeeding. That is also suicidal. Avoid driving while tired. And the driver should also avoid things that distract them while driving. We call that one destructive driving. And they must adhere to traffic rules and regulations. Observe road signages. For the passengers, they also have an obligation. If you are a passenger, tighten your seatbelt if you are in a public service vehicle. And where you happen to realize that the vehicle is being driven at a dangerous speed, then you have an option. And we have a toll-free number, 999, 911, and then 112. That is a command center number, where every member of the public can even call at any time that there is a vehicle that I'm a passenger and the driver is driving carelessly. Yes. You remember the incident of Miasenyi. There was somebody who was being interviewed at the hospital, and she had realized. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sana. And Paul.
Yeah, I think for me it's just to say that one life lost is one too many. The safety on the roads is the responsibility of everybody. Let us be patient with one another on the road. We will eventually get to our destinations. The court is committed, the judiciary is committed to ensure that justice is going to be dispensed speedily during this time. Thank you very much.
Paul Ndemo, who is the Deputy Chief Registrar and Judiciary Spokesperson, and also Dr. Frederick Ochieng, Traffic Commandant, NPS, Kefa Mungare, who is the Chief Principal Defensive Driving Trainer, and also Dorcas Rugut, who is the Assistant Director and Head of Nairobi Region ODPP, and Stephen Karuga, who is the Head of Corporate Affairs and Communications at EACC, speaking to us about matters of road safety. This is where this conversation ends. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Mark Migwe. Vivian Ndegwa is up next with Women at the Forefront. Stay with us.
Want to enjoy free-to-air digital TV with crystal clear quality? Here's how to get started with Signet. Step 1. If you have a smart TV, you're good to go. Next, connect the aerial to your TV. Now, do an auto search on your TV. Just follow the prompts on the screen. And that's it. You're now tuned in to Signet. Sit back and enjoy a wide range of free-to-air digital channels. For technical inquiries, call the Signet hotline on 0770-572-65.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with our music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
You'd really like to perform this surgery at the end of your term here.
I am a member of the medical team, part of China's medical mission.
Upasuaji mkubwa namna hii huwezi kufanya peke yako. Nani kati yenu angependa kuwa msaidizi wake?
Changlai, check the vitals.
Normal.
Has the tracheal tube been sterilized?
Yes, it's ready.
Cut open trachea.
Why didn't you tell me? Why did you do it without asking me first?
Because we were having problems at the time. Besides, you were still quite hurt because of Federico's death.
But right now I'm taking care of the design and promotion of the factory.
You need psychiatric help.
That is what you want, don't you? You want them to send me to a loony bin to get rid of me.
You're the only woman with whom I would like to live with.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come.
The holiday season is here again. It's family time.
Oh, yes!
It's a season to be jolly. And so, grab a seat, relax as your favorite Christmas hosts line up to indulge you this year.
It's about to go down.
There's a lot of food and drinks to go around.
It's delicious.
Great music for the soul. It's unbeatable. It's joyous. It's Christmas on KBC Channel 1.
Sisi natetemeka mpaka polisi akasema wacha sina anika hii watu kwa jua kwanza. Sasa sisi akanikwa kwa jua.
Kama nguu. Kwa nini unakubali kupepo na kali ya nyama? Wewe ni nyama.
Wewe amka.
Kijana wewe lala. Mtu asikusumbue. Hao watu ambao walipepwa hapo ni wanyama ama ni nyama?
Anapeleka nyama ya binadamu ambaye yuko hai.
Watu si nyama.
Hao watu yuko hai. Wewe anabebanga nyama ya wanyama.
Na ndio wewe sasa uliamua kubeba mwanadamu ambaye iko hai. Na gari iko -1. What did you expect?
I expect them to die.
Yes.
Ala.
And there we go. Welcome back. This is Good Morning Kenya. Thank you for staying with us. My name is Vivian Ndegwa. And right now we get into our Wednesday segment, that is Women at the Forefront. And as I had mentioned earlier on when we were beginning the show today, I am joined by a woman who's truly at the forefront. Her name is Evelyn Mwakina. She is the Corporate Affairs and Communications Manager, KBC KBC. Yes, she's my boss. She is my boss, and she's here today to just talk to the younger woman out there, you know, talk about shattering that glass ceiling when it comes to your career, when it comes to whatever it is that you wish to achieve in life. As a young lady and gentleman as well, just how to go about that. We'll be looking into leadership, mentorship, and purpose as a whole. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Vivian.
It is a pleasure to have you here this morning. Let us just begin first by you setting the ground on where exactly Evelyn Mwakina comes from in terms of your background.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Evelyn Mwakina comes from Taita, Taveta, from a village known as Veruga, specifically Mafunja village, and that is where I come from. But I'm married at Sagala, still a sub-tribe of Taitas, yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so your background in how you got to grow up so that you build up on the story to you becoming who you are today.
Okay, I come from a family, a large family, a family of 15 siblings. I'm the 10th born, and my parents were peasant farmers. So it was, can I call it abject poverty environment? And so that is where I come from. But since I was young, I had a dream that I should be something different because there was no enough resources to enable me achieve or enable me live a life, a good life, if I may call it. And therefore, I had a desire to grow to a level whereby I'm able to meet my basic needs. And my mother used to tell me to work hard and work with my hands. So from there, I learned that it is possible because I saw her work, I saw them struggle, and I saw them feed us, the 15 of us, 8 girls, 7 boys. And therefore, I knew there's an opportunity for me to do better than them. And that opportunity was through education, because that's what our parents taught us.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, mentioning that you grew up in poverty, not just poverty, but abject poverty.
Yes.
Yani ile hakuna kabisa.
Hakuna.
You know, just being that you grew up from that. Sometimes when that is your kind of background, sometimes when that is where you came from, it sometimes puts a barrier to how far you can go because you're not seeing the possibilities. So for you, it was different. That actually was your driving force. You knew this is not the life I want to live.
Yes.
And from what you're saying, you knew that education was your only way out.
Yes.
Was this something that was spoken into you? Was this something that, you know, you mentioned your mom used to mention it?
Yeah.
So is it that got to drive you out of now the poverty?
Indeed, that's what drove me to ensure that I don't stay in poverty environment or I don't stay in a position whereby I'm not able to meet my basic needs. And therefore, coming from my parents, they used to encourage us, both my mother and father, that yes, we are in this situation, but you can still be a better person. And therefore, they encourage us to work with our hands and enable us, encourage us also to look for opportunities. And some of the opportunities they created themselves. Because my father was a farmer, a peasant farmer, as I just put it. But he went out of his way to ensure that the garden or the shamba is well cultivated, and so there are some vegetables, there are some something to ensure that when any of us, the children, wanted to sell, they're able to do that. So that they encourage us to work with our hands and ensure, and also encourage us to work very hard in school. And picking from them, I knew there's something better than what I was seeing. And therefore, from the time I was young as I went to school, I had an agenda, I had a dream that I need to get out of that. Yes.
Yeah. And what would you say are some of the values that enabled you to remain aligned to your dreams? Because sometimes, yes, we may have dreams, but along the way, we tend to sway. So what would you say has kept you grounded in your values?
I think I'll start with God being my anchor first, because I had a relationship with God when I was still very young, at an age of 7, 8. And therefore, he is the one who has enabled me grow with that passion, and that I need to change my life. He was able to help me have self-control. As you say, there are many things that come along the way, and therefore I needed to be focused, I needed to be disciplined, I needed to have self-control so that I don't go out of my objective. And that has helped me to be focused, first of all, listening to what, because that is my map, listening to what God is saying in every situation along the way, and also working very hard in spite of the barriers or the challenges that I met along the way. And that pushed me. And what is interesting is that the challenges, I never saw challenges as challenges, I saw them as opportunities. So I'll always go back and refine anything that may be holding me back. And that one I did through education, because my parents gave me education up to the level of the levels of Form 6, and then for university we had help. But after that, I was able to do my postgraduate diploma course in journalism, and I did my master's in organizational leadership, MBA. Yes. Right. So along the way, I had to assess. I had time to reflect and look at what am I doing right, what am I doing wrong, and also stick to my road and not compare myself with anybody, because I already had a roadmap where I want to go. And all the time I'll compare notes and see whether I'm on track. Yes.
Would you say there was a time when you had a defining moment, a moment that truly now defined who exactly Mwakina is, Evelyn Mwakina is, and now like catapulted you?
Okay. Yeah, I joined KBC as a translator in the newsroom. And as it were, maybe I would have remained a translator all my life. But along the way, again, as I've said, I had to improve on either my education, and along the way, again, I had this opportunity to apply for a corporate affairs manager position. I am not I'm an introvert, if I may say, but given that the moment that helped me maybe come out of my cocoon as an introvert is when in 2000 I became a personal assistant to the managing director then. And so having come from the newsroom as a translator to a managing director, now being the person guiding the managing director in various ways and ensuring that everything goes well. And now I realize I'm at the forefront, I'm in the public eyes, and people would want, whatever the managing director will do might also reflect on my either leadership or my skills, my knowledge in how I should. So that it made me realize that I'm not a behind the desk person. Because when I joined KBC, I wanted to be so. Behind. I never wanted to be a broadcaster, but I just wanted to come and help do the news. And I was motivated by the mandate of KBC educating, informing, and entertaining. And the aspect of informing and educating really was really inspired me and had. So when I was still growing up, I really wanted to work for KBC, and that's why all my life I've worked for KBC to that level. So when I became the PA, it's when now things changed, because I was no longer behind the desk person. I was now in public. I needed to make decision, and eyes are on me. So I think I can call that that is a moment that everything changed.
Defined,
yeah.
And I can imagine, because now moving from a translator you know, to what you are right now, the corporate affairs manager, which is a big role. And you know, from what you mentioned, I can imagine now mentorship played a big role for you as the PA to the managing director. It was like you are being mentored in a way.
That indeed.
Yeah. So if you can just speak a bit about the role of mentorship.
Yeah, the role of mentorship, if I may say, it can start from either a mentee or a mentor. As I've just told you, I had a passion to be something, and maybe by the time I had that passion, I might not have known exactly where I should be. But I had that desire, so it comes from deep within you as a mentee. So when you get an opportunity, you're able to grab it. So for my case, I was able to grab the opportunity to work for an MD who was very passionate about journalism and about leadership, Mr. Joe Hamisi. And he was quite a hands-on person, and he met timelines and deadlines and everything. So I was able to learn from him, because that is when I learned that it is important to work within the timelines that you are. We don't procrastinate about anything, but work with it. If you have got work to do, do it when you have been given to do. Don't say that I can keep it for tomorrow. So I learned so much from him, and that's how mentorship works. So along the way, again, there are many other people who have mentored, and therefore it is a role of a mentee, being self-aware of yourself and also learning how to go about it, and learning the seasons and grabbing the opportunities that come along. Yes.
All right. To the young ladies who may be watching the show this morning, what would you mention concerning, you know, being able to take up space as a lady, taking up space without being deemed too much? You know, this is something that we're used to. Sometimes they want to quiet you down. They're like, oh, you're too much. Behave like a lady, you're too aggressive and all of that. So what would you say to that lady who feels they're being slowed down simply because of that time? You're a lady, you don't need to be, you know, too much.
To the young lady out there, I'll tell them to be graciously assertive. And this starts with self-aware. Know who you are and know what you are capable of doing. And when we know that, then you build yourself to achieving that which you want to achieve. So the space, I think culture has had it that maybe men are the ones who are supposed to guide us. And when I cite my example, having come from a large family I had elder brothers, and then again coming to the committee, see people encouraging men more than women to take up the responsibility that may be there. I think we are all equal in one way or another before the eyes of God. So we should be able to understand who we are as young people or as young men and women, and then we pull together as a community or as employees even of organizations, so that we pull together. So I'll encourage them to be assertive, to know what they want and pursue it. And they should not pursue it using shortcuts. And I think that's one of the things I've learned along the way, that, you know, there's this thing that people say, or there's this thing that your net worth is your network. So even as they do that, they should handle that carefully, knowing that sometimes it can be a trap. So know what you want, have networks, they are very good, but also as you do that, know what your values are, so that you're not able to, you're not doing what you are coerced to do, but whatever you do, do it knowing that this is what I want to do, and so don't blame anybody for the implications of whatever you have done. So be responsible, embrace your virtues and values, and focus on your goal. Be disciplined, have self-control, because there'll be so many side shows. If you're not careful, you'll not focus on your goal. But if you do that, and you are disciplined enough I'm very sure you'll reach the place you're going.
Yeah.
Yes.
You will be able to break the barriers.
Yes, you'll be able to break the barriers. Indeed, you'll be able to break those.
Pun intended, because, you know, Madam Wakina has a book she's written titled Breaking the Barriers. We'll get into it in a bit.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, I want us to talk about purpose. And, you know, just how has your sense of purpose, you know, changed or evolved over time? Yeah.
My sense of purpose has changed indeed over time. As I told you, I grew in a place whereby there was so much authority above me, being the 10th born of a large family, and most men being ahead of us. I would do things, but in the way I was brought up, it was like I am supposed to be listening, not to give advice or to contribute into a matter that might help. But along the way, and then I've talked about being an introvert. So I was more an introvert then than now, because now I'm able to make decisions and pursue them along the way. Now might not be really now, but along the way I've been able to be assertive enough. So my purpose, keeping the purpose, as I've just said, knowing your purpose goes hand in hand, and also being self-aware of who you are. And therefore you're able to grow with that purpose from one level to make it, to achieve what you want to do. So you have to be disciplined, you have to keep on learning, you have to keep on also getting mentored. You keep on listening to what can help you grow. So the purpose keeps on growing, and you keep on achieving that which you want to achieve.
Yeah.
I hope I've answered you.
Yes,
right?
you have.
Yeah.
And there's something that keeps coming up, you know, even as you in the conversation. You are too, or you are big on discipline, because I've heard that word. I think since we started, I hear discipline here, discipline there. So I would want for you to now talk on discipline. When you talk about discipline, what exactly does that look like?
Discipline is following, can I call the norms? Are they really norms? And ensuring that you are not doing something out of your will or out of coercion or out of pressure. People talk about peer pressure. So you are focused. You are self-controlled. That is discipline. And following, it can also be following authority. What has authority said? So if the book says this, if you go against it, that is non-discipline. That's why we get disciplinary letters if we are always coming to work late, or we are abusing others in the place of work, we don't respect others. So you need to be disciplined. The core values, the discipline goes hand in hand with values. What you believe in, and whether you have stuck to the road or to the way it is supposed to be done. So discipline means you should have self-control, you should follow what you're supposed to be doing, not blindly, because someone might think maybe I'm just saying that you just be a robot and follow everything, but be objective enough, be knowledgeable, and know what is right and wrong, and be able to do that which adds value to whatever agenda you have.
Okay, I get you on that. Now, since we're here, also, you know, as the segment suggests, you know, it's women at the forefront. So we're bringing women who may be able to act as mentors and role models to the younger ladies of the younger generation, rather. You know, in the life we live in right now, in the world we're living in right now, it's majorly on social media. You know, we may not even be living the actual lives. You know, some of us, we are so into what is happening online. Our lives are really online, if I may put it that way, compared to how life was back then, because I mean the internet wasn't that big. So one thing that comes out of that is comparisons. So you see, you know, a younger lady who's maybe the age of 21, they're 21 years old, they're on social media, they're trying to compare themselves with another lady that they follow on social media. Probably this lady flaunts, you know, they have this car, they have this, and they also seem just as young as themselves. And that comparison comes in whereby you wonder, what is it that she's doing that I'm not doing? So sometimes you just, you might get yourself rather into things that, you know, are not really what, do not go with your values simply because you want to match up with what the other person is doing. So if you can just speak on comparison and how to be able to remain grounded and content with who you are without wanting to check what the other person is doing.
Yeah. Indeed, what you have said is good to be content. It's good to remain grounded to what you are. Social media is good, and it is adding so much to helping us achieve quite a lot. But you need to be grounded, as you have said, and I go back again to discipline, because use social media for the good purposes, not for purposes of comparison, because the world today is like people want to speak about everything about themselves. And if you go back to, if again you go back to exposing what your agenda is, or exposing what your dreams are, might not in the wrong time. You know, the season when you are talking about whatever you're doing. Sometimes it's good to be quiet to what you are doing until when now maybe you do something and people see it. Otherwise, the issue of social media, posting everything, you ate this today, to tomorrow now you want to buy this car, you've just gotten the car, you're posting it. To me, I think we need wisdom. And I will encourage the young people to use wisdom in that, because again, not everybody can be happy with what you're doing. And so you can abort your dreams just because you are oversharing in the social media. So there's nothing, as you rightly put it, it is wrong to do comparisons. Do comparisons with yourself. This is what I wanted to achieve. Have I achieved it? And then grow. Because if now I start competing with you, I'll now concentrate on ensuring that I outdo you. But again, is that the way I'm supposed to be going? Is that the end of the destination I'm going? Because if you have a plan for your life, you have a destination you are going, and therefore you cannot be you cannot look around and see what Vivian is doing. But I have to ask myself the question is, Evelyn Mwakina, Evelyn, my second name is Mshai. What did you want to achieve, and what is the plan? So I am able along the way to remove everything that is contrary to what I believe in or what I want to achieve. And therefore I want to tell the young people that don't compare yourself with Abel. Be content with what you are, but work into improving yourself, because there's always room for improvement, and it is continuous improvement. And don't compare yourself, because you never know, maybe Vivian alienda akaiba kitu akawa vile alivyo. You never know.
You never know.
So you cannot be, just be content and work with what you have as God has blessed you.
I love that. So be your own trendsetter. Like be your own competitor. Compare yourself with the yesterday Vivian. Compare yourself with the yesterday Makina. You know, that's a good way to put it. You know, while we were speaking, we were able to see you in your office. They were showing cutaways of you in your office, and you have several accolades. You know, several awards. There we have it on the screen. You know, there are several awards on that screen. You know, having worked at KBC for now 33 years.
Now 36 years.
36 years.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm sure you have been able to be accorded several, you know, recognitions or awards. If you can just speak a bit about that.
Let me speak about the awards are for Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. As mainly because as corporate communication department, we are the custodian of the awards.
Yeah.
So most of the awards are for even our employees, and therefore we should congratulate them for making KBC to what it is.
Yeah.
So we have KBC as employees, and even KBC as an organization has gotten so many awards, and we keep them for good memories and even to encourage ourselves that we have achieved what we've planned to do. So it goes. So these awards are not for Evelyn Mwakina as an individual, but for the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation.
Yes.
Yes.
And for those who are not aware, we have a magazine. We have a KBC magazine. It's called The Must.
Yes.
And your office is in charge of publishing The Must, and you're actually the initiator of this magazine. So this is just to put it out there that we do have a magazine. It's called The Must. Can you speak just a bit about it, and then we get into your book now?
Our Must is I can call it a PR tool. A PR tool does not also, it informs. We capture what KBC, the activities that happen within the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. So we're able to document whatever highlights, the key highlights in the organization. So if you have a story, a big story, if you want to speak to staff, if you want to guide them in one way or another, we're able to carry the stories inside there. If you have got new changes, as you have just shown, that must, when our new MD came on board, we were able to carry her. And the theme there is unlocking the national broadcaster's potential. So we are preparing staff and ourselves into embracing what she came with, and sure enough, we will continue. So we document all those stories to help staff know what is happening within the organization, and also to encourage others also to write. We use it also as a mentoring tool. Yes, young people come, those on attachment, and they write stories. And if you slip through it, you'll see there are many young people who have honed their writing skills with using the Must. So it is a tool that is helping us in various ways, and also embracing our mandate to educate and to inform and even entertain. Yes.
All right. I want us to finish off now with a book that is Breaking the Barriers by Evelyn Mwakina. It's actually a memoir.
Yes.
What prompted you to have this written down, to write this book?
What prompted me to write the book is my story. I look back at my life and where I am at the moment. I would not have been what if I didn't break some barriers. And the barriers started all the way from home. I've talked about the poverty issue, the many of us who are there, and therefore having that dream that that I can be something better against all odds inspired me to write the book. And the inspiration is also to the young people or any career person who wants also to come to looking at their situation and thinking that they're not able to do anything. My encouragement to them is that it is doable. It doesn't matter where you're coming from, but you're able to start. And as I've just said, I started in KBC as a translator. So I would have as well remained to be a translator to date. But along the way, I had to break some barriers to be able to be the corporate affairs manager at KBC. And these barriers can be broken. That's my message, can be broken. Again, if you are focused, if you're disciplined, and if you are improving yourself day by day. So that's why I wrote the book. And it's a book that I want to encourage everybody to read, and mainly the young people. There are those who are looking at their situation, they're feeling like maybe I'm not able. But for my case, I thank God I've been able, and here I am.
You're living proof that you can actually come from wherever it is you're coming from. You may think that you are coming from the low of the lowest, but you can still break those barriers to become who you are.
And the key thing is be patient and learn. Take every opportunity as a learning opportunity to grow and to change some of the things that you might not even like about yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
For someone who would love to get a copy of this book, just to get to, you know, get deeper into the entire story, because it has a lot. You know, I've gotten to read it, and it has a lot in it. So for someone who would want to get it, where do they find the book?
Yeah, you can get it from Nuria shopping shop. You can also get it from me if you have my number, or you can ask Vivian my number. And yeah, it is there. It's not online yet, but soon it will be there.
Yeah.
But those are the places you can get it from.
All right.
And Jumuiya.
And okay.
Yes.
And Jumia.
Yes.
All right. There's as we finish off, I would love for you to speak about the last chapter of the book, which is dubbed Letter to My Daughters.
Yes.
Because now, even, you know, for the younger ladies who are watching us, I believe this is a message to all of us, you know.
Yes.
Daughters.
Yes.
So why was it important for you to have that letter to my daughters? And for a lady who's watching us, what is that one thing they would you would love them to pick out of life, you know, that you would love them to learn from life?
Okay. I'm just encouraging my daughters, being one, you yourself being one of them, that the way you are, you have everything. God has built you in a manner that you can achieve what you want to achieve. And yes, there'll be many struggles, there'll be challenges, there'll be disappointments, there'll be things that might take you away from your focus. But my main message is that focus on your goal. And the first thing is focus on your goal, keep God first, be disciplined, that is the word.
Yeah.
and don't wait for people to work for you. Yeah, and there's this temptation of us women waiting for men to help us. If you don't have a man around us, maybe we might not do. And that's why I've talked about also networks. Have networks, yes, but be cautious on those networks. How are they helping you? Are they taking you to where you're going? Or they're taking away something from you? And if that something is taken from you, that means you might also be crushed. Because we have seen many people get crushed. Yeah, you are given maybe a position of a great position just because you took a shortcut maybe. But I'm encouraging them to work with their hands, to be objective, to be smart in how they do their thing. And ultimately they'll be able to achieve what they want. And this one is not, the message is not only for the young girl. The message is also for the young man to know that, because even outside there are those temptations that you can get out and have shortcuts towards what you want to achieve. Work with your hands, be objective, be smart enough, improve on yourself on a daily basis. Yeah, have a reflection time. Am I going in the right direction, where I want to go? And then you'll be able to see who will be part of you, the company you're going to keep, the friends you're going to let go, because there comes a time when you have to let go of some friends. Even some family members you have to let go if you're focusing on your purpose. Because when you talk about your purpose, it is only you who knows what you want to achieve. Yeah, because maybe God spoke to you, or maybe you dreamt about something. So you need to know exactly where you're going, be disciplined and focus. Yes.
I love that. And this is where we get to put a cap to our conversation today. Thank you so very much for gracing our show today. It was a pleasure having you on board, and I'm sure that you have gotten to inspire one or two people out there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to each and every one of you for watching. And, you know, just paraphrasing what Madam Wakina has mentioned, you are your own competitor. Compete within yourself, you know, gauge yourself from who you are, from who you were yesterday, and don't really get too much into comparing yourself with the next person. Now, and one other thing, nothing is impossible. If you have a goal, you want to go for it, just go for it. Chase it, remain focused and disciplined, as she mentioned, and just go for it. I mean, even the word itself is written impossible. It's just that we read it as impossible. So yeah, this is where we end it. My name is Vivian Degwa. I'll see you tomorrow, same time and place. God willing, do enjoy the rest of your viewing. Goodbye.
the Lord is come.
Yesu amezaliwa, Yesu amezaliwa.
The holiday season is here again.
What?
It's family time.
Tunaanguka nayo.
Oh yes, it's a season to be jolly. And so, grab a seat, relax as your favorite Christmas hosts line up to indulge you this year.
It's about to go down.
There's a lot of food and drinks to go around.
It's delicious.
Great music for the soul. It's unbeatable. It's joyous. It's Christmas on KBC Channel 1.
Friday night again.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the Positive Warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we
have to do it twice.
When someone you love dies, it can be incredibly difficult. But what if you could speak to them just one more time? Artificial intelligence is making this possible. Chatbots or digital avatars possess the ability to mimic our personalities, kind of like living on after death. But is that something we even want? Tech companies around the world are competing to make the perfect recreation of a deceased person's likeness. Thanks to advances in AI and deepfakes, they are becoming increasingly realistic. The burgeoning grief tech industry is already making a name for itself, particularly in China and the US. But what is it like to chat with a copy of a deceased partner? Christy Angel from the US did just that.
If you had a chance to talk to someone that died that you love, would you take it? Without knowing what the risk is, without knowing what the outcome is, would you take it? I took it.
American Christy Angel chatted with an AI bot, which she had to train first with a few personal details about her deceased boyfriend.
This experience, it was creepy. There were things that scared me, and a lot of stuff I didn't want to hear.
In the documentary Eternal You, two German filmmakers explore what it's like to try to bring the dead back to life in some way using AI.
Menschen unterschätzen